improve its tally, because if they're not seeing the kind of gains that they're hoping in Old Mysore, and if those huge rewards that you saw in coastal, central, and to some extent in Hyderabad and Mumbai, Karnataka, the similar results are not seen this time around, then you can say that the BJP could potentially be in trouble.
And the BJP went for a complete generational shift in the ticket distribution. The reason that they did was that they were hoping that it will inspire particularly the youth to look at the BJP very differently. An experiment which worked for them in multiple states. An experiment which worked in Gujarat.
Yeah,
but
see, what happens is they did a full government shift 18 months before the election. They did a government shift with Basavaraj Bommai. He's not very popular, many people say, but others say that he's done far greater job. Let's try and go across to our guests, and before the first numbers start trickling in, get their thoughts. Prakash Belawadi, actor and former journalist with us. B.S. Arun, senior journalist with us. Rashid Kidwai, senior journalist with us in the studio. R.P. Singh, Sardar R.P. Singh with us. Lavanya Balal of the Congress Party and Pratap Kanagal of the JDS. Namaste, Jai Hind, gentlemen and the ladies. Thank you very, very much. Let me first ask your thoughts. First, Bengaluru residents, Karnataka residents, I hope all of you have voted. Lavanya ji, let's start with you.
Hi, good evening. I am not a resident of Bangalore, though I reside often in Bangalore. My voting is in coastal Karnataka. I've just finished voting in my rural booth.
Fantastic.
In my farmhouse.
Fantastic. So what's the mood? At the end of the day, I'm sure everybody politically would be fancying their chances, but do you believe that this has been a high voter turnout election?
It's very exciting, especially in the ranks of Congress party. The excitement is very high. And the way our party...
Oh, we just lost the feed with her. We'll go back to Lavanya the moment she's there with us. Prakash ji, oh, she's back. You're back. I think interrupted connection. Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, I'm so sorry for the disruption. Basically, what has happened is, the party workers have worked so beautifully, so efficiently. And I have to say kudos to our party workers. Today, if you notice across Karnataka, one thing that has stood out for me than the previous elections is the kind of violence that has affected this election, and also the reaction of the people who have refused to take the saris, the chickens that the BJP leaders have been giving them. And BJP leaders were caught on cameras in the last 24 hours distributing money. And that is something our party workers have caught hold of, including Mahalakshmi layout in Bangalore, including my neighboring constituency of rural Karnataka, the coastal Karnataka. At midnight, we caught them with a carload full of money, distributing it to people. And I think this time, the Congress is going to form the government. I mean, we are very sure of forming the government.
I'll go to Sardar R.P. Singh in just a bit. Prakash Belawadi, Bharat Arun. Prakash ji, please go first. Your thoughts on the election so far?
I continue to believe that this was an election without a really major issue for either side. And when you see issues like, Bajrang Dal ban as the major issue, you just see that it becomes an election without an agenda for either side. I think what BJP's biggest problem will be, apart from the charges of corruption that attends any government that is in power in Karnataka over the last 20 years, the real problem will be that it was a lackluster 5 years for them, and they do not seem to have anything strong to say as why people should vote for them. And since 1985 or the mid-80s, no party has been voted back to power in Karnataka. So I think that casual anti-incumbency is what is the biggest factor against them. And for the Congress, I would say, sadly, it was an election for them to win, for them to lose. And, they even if they just kept quiet, I think we could have said confidently, like the lady who before me said, that they will win. But I'm no longer so sure that they'll sweep the elections as I assumed 2 months ago. I think now it's even Stevens.
Would you then say that election changed from what was seen as lackluster or issue-less election before 25th of April changed post 25th, and what was seen as pan-Karnataka local election became about various regions of Karnataka? 6 elections within that one election.
See, I think See, I will tell you, it was the nature of confusing signals. See, let me first say that this whole idea of, Narendra Modi coming in the last minute and changing the narrative to some extent, enthusing voters, or like making people who were indifferent somewhat, favoring of BJP, that was expected, and it may happen. It happened last time, so it may happen. I don't think people had not calculated for that. But I'll tell you what nobody expected would happen is that there was a series of confusing signals. Day before yesterday night when I went home, I saw on the Kannada channels, DK Shiv Kumar's speech being reported in headlines saying, you made, Deve Gowda the chief minister. You made HDK, meaning Kumaraswamy, the chief minister. Why can't you make DKshi, which means DK Shiv Kumar, myself, the chief minister? You even made Ramakrishna Hegde the chief minister. I'm your own. Why won't you make chief minister? Now the thing is, 2 days before elections, in such a caste-ridden, politics that we have in Karnataka, to make this announcement asking to become the chief minister may confuse many of the Congress voters, I think. So that is one. And that Bajrang Dal, I think, was a completely, banning of Bajrang Dal was a completely unnecessary thing to issue a few days before the election. Right. There was no, when Mr. Rahul Gandhi said, Mr. Modi, it's not this election is not about you. He's absolutely right. However, the party president, talked about, Narendra Modi as a poisonous snake and so on. I think that kind of thing was confusing for voters who wanted to look at a Congress agenda that looked at a very strong idea for Karnataka and its development, because we have done well in some sectors, but I don't think equitably we have done well everywhere. So there was something for them to tell. I think Congress lost that opportunity.
Correct. But they had the opportunity to give a story, and if they had not said anything, like you said, they would have still got the mandate. But did they shoot themselves in the foot is a big question that remains. DK Shiv Kumar perhaps telling the Vokkaligas to vote for him for once, so that he could stand up and say, if Siddaramaiah represents the Kurbas and now largely the Ahindas, I also now represent the Vokkaligas and I'm a strong leader in the face. Now, is that actually going to matter towards the end of it? We'll have to wait and watch. B.S. Arun, Rashid Kidwai, RP Singh ji, we'll come to you in just a bit. Have to take a very short break. Pratap Kanagal, please stay on with us.
also a lot of blame game within the Congress. I've been talking to a lot of people in the Congress, and nobody's taking ownership of this. Siddaramaya's camp is saying, well, we were not aware of this. Nobody told about this. This is not our proposal. The strategy group is saying, no, we did not propose this. The party wanted control over the manifesto, on the content of the manifesto. Many are saying, no, it was Mr. Surjewala who insisted on this. Nobody in the Congress taking ownership for this. Imagine a scenario where the Congress ends up at 108, 105. Suddenly these 4-5 seats that they might lose in coastal Karnataka region, say in Shimoga, in Kodagu, because of this issue, will become decisive, and then you will see a lot of blame game when the Congress where they really lost the plot, and nobody really coming out and saying we are the ones proposing the ban on Bajrang Dal. There are only a few of them saying, no, we'll have a counter consolidation of Muslim votes or BJP in our favor. Fact is, most of that would have happened anyway because of the reservation issue. Now the worry is some of the candidates of the Congress, especially in coastal Karnataka, might lose because of this, because these are seats contested very closely. One. Second, there was a lot of anger within the larger right-wing group against the BJP. Remember, Nalin Kumar Katil's car was almost vandalized because they thought BJP hadn't done the larger Hindutva cause. And you had Pramod Mutalik, others contesting, and they got a lot of support from the larger right-wing ecosystem despite contesting against BJP. That has changed over the last week or so. I was talking to people in coastal Karnataka. They said suddenly there's a larger cause of Hindutva, a larger enemy in Siddaramaya and Congress, and the entire right wing is rallying behind the BJP and talking about what the BJP has done for the Hindutva cause.
Absolutely, and I think पल्लवी ये पता नहीं क्या प्रॉब्लम है कांग्रेस में कि स्टेट लीडरशिप अच्छा चुनाव लड़ती है एंड तक और फिर नेशनल लीडरशिप जंप्स इनटू इट. And
the evening skies of Bengaluru, that's the race course that you are seeing, ladies and gentlemen. Every spot in Bengaluru looks fantastic when you are up in the air. When you get down on the roads, you wish that you're either on foot or on a two-wheeler, because otherwise it becomes very difficult. Now, is that going to be an issue that is going to resonate in these elections? The civic issues as far as Bengaluru, 28 seats important in Bengaluru, and if you were to take rural areas, another 4 seats, so 32 seats. Let's go across to our guests before the first numbers start trickling in and get their word in. B.S. Arun is with us, joining us from Bengaluru. Rashid Kidwai is here in the studio. And we have R.P. Sardar, R.P. Singh and Pratap Kanagal, who have not yet spoken. So, B.S. Arun, your thoughts? Has Karnataka come out and voted in big numbers? And will this be a decisive mandate?
Well, I am a tad disappointed with the voting today. I was watching the polling percentages at 5 p.m. for all the constituencies in the state, and it was not very encouraging. And I think at the end of the we might get it at any time, the full percentage of voting, but going by what was the tally at 5 p.m., I am not very sure that it will reach or it may cross the last time's percentage. More so in Bangalore. I think Bangalore people have not come out in great numbers to vote. So when that is the issue, I think it's the total number of voters who have come to the polling booth and exercised their franchise is more or less the same. So when that is the issue, how yes, and how the numbers pan out as far as the seats that the political parties would get. Whether it will be a hung assembly or whether any party will get a majority. So that is the issue. And as far as the performance of these parties are concerned, I think Congress still, I think, has its nose a bit ahead. Going by the earlier, it had the first mover advantage in the sense that it gave guarantees to the people, and that made an impact because Congress talked about the issues on the ground, the issues that touch the people, issues like price rise, the corruption at the ground level. Right. These are some of the things, the infrastructure. These are some of the things which really, I was looking at one of the interviews that you people carried with the first time voters, and the demands that they made were like, what we need is good motor transport to my college, to my workplace, good metro service in Bangalore, drinking water facility, issues like this, and it is not, the national issues which BJP kept on harping. I think that could be one difference that this election can make.
Okay. Let me bring in Rashid here in the studio. Rashid, the question is whether it will be local issues or national issues. BJP certainly was hoping and continues to hope that it will be brand Narendra Modi, his message of double engine government, his message, and the last open letter that he wrote to people of Karnataka, that he has plans for the state of Karnataka, whether that will resonate or whether it will be about the Jai Viru Jodi, which is being said in the context of Siddaramaiah and DK Shivkumar.
I think, Maria, it's a very kind of critical thing for the Congress, because if they lose this time, then it will show that nothing is working for them. Remember, there was Congress President Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge, who hails from Karnataka. He spent 26 days non-stop. He didn't step out of the state. He campaigned. He organized everything. There was a lot of, synergy was there. The Gandhis were there. Everyone campaigned. And the Congress did, just if you leave out some distractions, they did actually quite well. In spite of that, if they lose with Modi magic, then, Maria, it would mean that in any Indian state elections, if Mr. Modi goes and campaigns, then the BJP would win. The state issues, state leadership issues, etc., it will become very secondary. Remember, you see, if you do man-to-man thing there, the Congress was really ahead of the BJP in terms of having state leadership. There is nobody, I mean, the chief minister is there, but somehow he doesn't match the kind of thing, reputation that Mr. Siddaramaiah has, or for that matter, popularity also.
We would want to challenge that with respect to Himachal. The PM campaigned there. Himachal did, the BJP didn't win. It's not necessary. But if you look at Karnataka, among the southern states, south of the Vindhyas, the BJP's presence at the booth level is the strongest in Karnataka.
The first number has come. I think it's
now we've got the first numbers. The TV9 exit poll has come on the screens, and then we'll go across to Pratap Kanagal and our Sardar RP Singh with those numbers. So the first numbers are here, the TV9 numbers. Let's kind of have a look at these numbers. Here they are. And the TV9 exit poll, what numbers are they giving? The BJP 88 to 98, that's what it's saying. And again, the Congress party 99 to 109. Ooh, the JDS 21 to 26. So Mr. HD Kumaraswamy once again comes into play. Now this becomes interesting yet again. Last time 37 seats, this time around 21 to 26 seats. The BJP 104 will fall short by about 6 to 8 seats if you look at the higher marker. The JDS minus 11 seats. The Congress jumps from 88 to 109 seats. Once again, so near yet so far, but there are 3 seats for the others. Does that mean somewhere it is the Congress that is in pole position as far as the first TV9 exit poll is coming through? Now TV9 local inputs, because TV9 is a strong presence in the state of Karnataka too, and so you'd want to lean on what the local channels, the local numbers are, because they tend to reflect a little more than some of the national pollsters. Not always, but you have to bear this in mind. So this is the first number. Sardar RP Singh, your reaction. Pratap Kanagal, I'll come to you in just a bit. The JDS, which did not feature anywhere in the conversation, is still part of the conversation, Sardar RP Singh. आप लोग फंसते हुए दिख रहे हैं.
Well, Anand, thank you for bringing me here today, but I don't see JDS getting 21-26 seats. I mean, let me be very frank.
Sir, please hold your thoughts. Please hold your thoughts. TV9 Polestat ke saath, I'll come to you. Please continue. One more number has come in. That's the Jan Ki Baat number. 6:30 sharp. They had said that they will put the numbers out along with Suvarna in Karnataka, and that's what they've done. Jan Ki Baat getting the numbers out. BJP 94 to 117. Congress 91 to 106. JDS 14 to 24. His bands are always a little broad, so you don't know which one to stick up to and say where it is going to go. Because if you look at 94 for the BJP, then the JDS comes into the picture. If you look at the higher number, then the JDS is nowhere in the picture. Congress is out of the entire game.
Is giving it to BJP in as much as it's crossing the halfway mark.
Yeah, I think crossing the halfway mark.
On the higher end, it's certainly crossing
113, only party to cross the halfway mark, so it is giving it to the BJP. One more number has come in. Let's look at EMARC has got their numbers. Let's see what EMARC has got to say. So 2 pollsters, one giving it to the Congress, another giving it to the BJP. The third pollster, PMARC, comes in, and oh, ये तो 50-50 हो गया, दोनों फंस गए. 109 and 108. And again the JDS comes into play. So again the historic trend of the JDS playing the kingmaker or the spoiler. And the trend, Karnataka has not bucked the trend. South of Karnataka, Mysore, Mandya, Hassan, that region continues to be dominated by the JDS. There are a few seats lower than last time. BJP somewhere around the same number, 5 more seats from last time. Congress, big jump, but not past the halfway mark. Now Sardar RP Singh, 3 pollsters, 1 more pollster is coming. Numbers are coming in thick and fast. Everybody seems to be doing it right at the time, a stroke of 6:30 p.m. Z Matriz says it goes to the Congress party. 118. So another pollster, first pollster to give Congress past the halfway mark and comfortably past the halfway mark, 118. BJP 94. The second pollster to say that the BJP could get stuck somewhere in the 90s and the Congress way past 103 figure mark, 103 to 118. So Z Matriz in Karnataka believes that this mandate is in favor of the Congress party against the BJP, and despite the JDS getting about 33 and the higher number, just 4 seats short of last time, the Congress party is past the halfway mark and is in place to form the government. So 4 pollsters so far, Sardar RP Singh. Before the next one comes, your thoughts so far.
Before you bring in Sardar RP Singh, a senior BJP leader has just messaged me and said, situation looks the same as last time around. And around 18th April, we were down and election changed post 25th April. So 2 elections in Karnataka, before 25th April and after 25th April, that's when Mr. Narendra Modi arrives. That's when the BJP gets issues such as Bajrang Bali, the Congress manifesto mentioning the Bajrang Dal ban, and also the personal attack against the Prime Minister has never worked. The BJP is hoping it will not work even this time around.
Yeah. RP Singh ji.
Yes, Boli.
And then Pratap Kanagal. Yeah.
Thank you, Anand. But I still feel that numbers which are being given to JDS are not going to stand by that numbers, because the ties is between the 2 parties, and people of Karnataka understand this, and they are not going to do this time, because they had seen that last time they did this and what happened later on. So this time they are given a clear mandate to us, as per me, and just wait for the time. I don't see that figure of JDS working for JDS, that 25 to 33 or 15 to 16, whatever numbers are giving in different polls. And also, it's little early. 6:30 is little early for exit poll. I mean, I'll appreciate your poll and whatever poll agency you had should give a poll.
We have not had any poll agency. What we are doing is we are just going to put the poll of polls. What everybody is saying, and we will put out a poll of polls. Yes, these numbers will be revised because this is based or calculated based on voter turnout at 3 p.m. That was around 50%. That voter turnout, if it reaches about 80%, 77 or the high 70s or near the 80%, then these numbers could get revised, ladies and gentlemen. That's a possibility. Pratap Kanagal, the JDS still features there, but there is an erosion. It's not growing. It's actually degrowing, sir.
No, nothing as such. If you look at let me start with 2013 election. 2013 election, the same channel, same surveys are, predicted 24 numbers. And JDS end up getting 40, and even in 18, except for one survey, West all predicted less than 30. So that is because every time JDS is undermined, and they obviously look beyond JDS. But definitely wait for 30. We will surprise everybody.
We have often seen in every election, there is one party which is underestimated. Zaka, is JDS that party in Karnataka which is often underestimated?
Because it's always a rural party. It's harder to read the rural vote, and generally, the Gaudas vote like a clan. The Vokaliga vote is always like a clan. Like I said last time around, one of the reasons why they did so well was Mr. Siddaramaiah had apparently said something which did not go down well with that community. This time around, the Congress has been careful. Both Siddaramaiah and DK Shivkumar have kept the campaign to local issues about price rise, inflation, joblessness, etc. And the national issues, of course, it came into the fore in the last couple of weeks. But JDS is always a very difficult party to estimate in terms of how much votes and seats they will end up with.
And Senior Deve Gowda was campaigning on a wheelchair.
Oh, yes. Yes, he's in his mid-90s. He was campaigning on a wheelchair. Clearly, for his voters, of the Vokaliga voters, that was a very, very sympathetic scene. Whether that will help his party go past, let's say, 20 or 25 seats, we'll have to wait and see. But, people talking about this is my last campaign. A man at 94, 95 campaigning, I thought was a phenomenal picture story in itself.
But
well, Vocaliga votes, if they transfer all the way to the JDS, then DK Shivkumar will have it have a tough time even if the Congress gets the mandate. We've got the poll of polls, ladies and gentlemen. Just quickly putting all the numbers in front of you for you to get a sense of how it is looking like. Let me just come here and show you these numbers. So this is what it shows. At this point, the average poll of polls for the BJP is 94. So they are 10 short from the last time around and clearly nearly about 19 short of majority. In this case, the Congress party is 10 short of absolute majority at 103. There is one pollster that is giving BJP the mandate. There is one pollster that is giving, or in fact, one pollster clearly giving Congress the mandate. But largely, if you were to see, the Congress has its nose ahead of the BJP so far as the exit pollsters are concerned at 6:41 p.m. this evening. The final voter turnout has not yet come through. If it is higher, if it is nearing the 80% number, there could be a revision, possible revision in these projections. In favor of the Congress, in favor of the BJP, we do not know. But there could be an upward or a revision from some of these pollsters by the time we reach about 8 p.m. and the final voter turnout numbers also come in. So there is another number that has just come in. There's a CGS number that's come through. Let's quickly take a look at this number. This is the CGS exit poll. The CGS exit poll says, oh, clear mandate for the BJP, 114, 86 for the Congress party. Now, this is another projection which is, some people would say we'll take it. Others would say it's not possible because it's got to be the Congress party. But this is another second pollster who's actually giving BJP the mandate and not the Congress. So does this change the average? 10 seats more than the last time for the Congress party in this one. Lavanya Balal, any thoughts quickly on the numbers that have come in so far?
No, some of these numbers are so not correct. It's incorrect. The numbers are incorrect. And I would like to point out, when Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji visited Bangalore, it solidified the BJP vote base. But then the neutral voters got really annoyed with the kind of restrictions that it put on average Bangalorean. Bangaloreans hate the traffic jams, and that intensified because of Modi ji's visit. And also it reinforced Modi ji's opinion that Kannadigas have, that he does not care about the state for the rest of the 5 years. He visited 10 times only during the election, went back complaining about our tigers, but he didn't visit the state during the floods, during COVID, or any other season.
Lavanya,
You know, so
what about that open letter that the Prime Minister wrote, where he talked about the role of Karnataka in the $5 trillion economy, that when India becomes the third largest economy, then Karnataka will play an important role. So, you know, while, yes, the elections were being fought on polarizing issues because of the issue that was given to the BJP, I would say, on a platter with by Mr. Kharge and also in your party manifesto, the fact is that it finally became about development. It was about the plan, the roadmap.
Maria, Karnataka is already the second biggest GST payer in the taxpayer in the country.
Yes.
They are already a big player when it comes to economy of this nation. But what is the amount of GST that we get in return? It's pittance that we get back. Do you know how difficult it is for Karnataka to demand our own well-deserved GST monies back?
RP Singh, a response on that, please. Go ahead.
Well, she is forgetting on one thing. Karnataka got 38 lakh toilets. It got 1 crore 1 lakh tap water connections. It got 7 lakh Awas Yojana houses. It got some like 37 lakh Ujjwala scheme gas cylinders. It got some like almost 35 lakh covered under the Ayushman Bharat, and out of which 15 lakh got the advantage also, got the benefit of that scheme also. And then so is the 3 lakh household, 3 lakh houses being constructed for the fishermen also. So there are different things which Karnataka has got during this period, and overall budget allocation has also grown up almost double than the last time. It was during Congress.
Does this all actually matter to the voter on ground is a larger question, RP Singh ji. One of the things which was also said is that during the COVID time, it was the BJP Karyakartas who were out on the ground helping everybody, contrary to what others would claim that everybody was helping everybody. What factors would actually matter across Karnataka? Or do you see trends varying depending upon which part of Karnataka we are talking about? Prakash ji, your thoughts on the exit poll numbers and also largely how the voters would lean on and what they would do. I'll go to Pratap Kanagal after Prakash Birwadi. Yes, Prakash ji.
See, when you look at the exit poll numbers, they're largely reflective of the difficulty in calling this election, because it has been, there's no overarching dominant issue or a set of issues that that can make it easier to predict. The second thing that makes it very difficult to predict is that the issues of Bangalore, for instance, traffic, building the metro faster or making better infrastructure and so on, are very Bangalore. It's limited to Bangalore. These are not issues elsewhere in Karnataka. There are issues in other parts of Karnataka, and they are not the same issues. I think there may be 5 or 6 pockets of Karnataka with completely different issues, consistent only in that zone. Those issues could be. So what happens is, it's not that it's an issue-less election. It's that the issues are very local. And the numbers, I tend to agree somewhat with the Jan Ki Baat numbers. And you see the wide margin of error that is there in that, there's 20 seats bandwidth of doubt is there. That bandwidth of uncertainty is I think, that swing vote of a person who's not decided, who is a little bit disenchanted with BJP and its performance in Karnataka, who's not entirely excited with the Congress is about to offer, and who is undecided. And this voter, she is deciding, I think, who is going to get the election.
Sir, 112 assembly seats where women voters outnumber the male voters. Now, could that be a deciding factor? And you talk about corridor of uncertainty, a cricketing terminology, you brought it into politics, which is interesting. And right now, the upward revision has happened. For the BJP from 94 to 98, that's the mega poll of poll numbers at the bottom of our screen. There's a downward revision that's happened to the Congress party. So hardly anything separating the Congress and the BJP as far as the numbers so far. That makes it very interesting. Pratap Kanagal, your thoughts, you'd put your hand up and then I'll bring in Zaka and Rashid Kitwai also. Yeah. Pratap ji, can you hear me? Yeah. Yeah, go ahead, please. Now we can hear you. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, I just wanted to make a comment on about that open letter you're talking about. The Prime Minister wrote about the economy. See, that is like, people of Karnataka are angry because one of the reason of Karnataka didn't get the GST on time, and central government, union government of Mr. Modi's government has asked Karnataka to go and avail a loan. So people are angry on that. They are really angry. People are angry on central government going to Supreme Court against Karnataka getting oxygen at the time of COVID. So these are that open letter. This doesn't make much of difference apart from Bangalore.
One of the interesting points is the route to 120. If you were to see if the BJP, let's try and construct that if we can on the wall, Zaka, strongholds for the BJP and strongholds for the Congress, what would be their route to 120? If that's the number of safety.
I think it's fairly simple. For the BJP, it's coastal, central, and of course either one of Mumbai and Hyderabad, but because those were the regions that they really dominated last time around. Out of the 104 that they got, 137 seats in this region, 84 out of the 104 that the BJP got was from this North Karnataka, coastal Karnataka and central Karnataka. And like I keep going back, there are two factors. In coastal, it's about the Hindutva ideology pitch, the Hindutva laboratory as it were. In central Karnataka, it's entirely caste-based. It's a Lingayat stronghold. Yediyurappa hails from Shimoga. That's bang in the middle of the state. All of those constituencies, Chitradurga, Davangere, Hubli, Dharwad, of course the Chief Minister is from Haveri. All of those places, last election, there was a Lingayat consolidation for the BJP. And of course, in Bombay, Karnataka, the BJP has generally tended to do well. This time around, of course, in Bombay, Karnataka, Laxman Savadi has moved out. You have Jagdish Shettar, who has moved out. In Hyderabad, Karnataka, which used to be the Congress's stronghold, Mallikarjun Kharge is from Gulbarga in Hyderabad, Karnataka. Last time around, it was evenly split between the Congress and the BJP. So for the BJP, these are the wide regions that they need to max out in, because the other region, which is southern Karnataka, Old Mysuru as people there call it, there it's a JDS versus Congress fight. Have we seen any evidence of that shift happening where the BJP can make inroads into the JDS's vote bank? They've tried really hard. They've tried really hard projecting some of their Vokaliga leaders, but will that be enough to dent the JDS's Gowda vote and the Congress's traditional backward classes vote in Old Mysuru? because otherwise the BJP will have to repeat what they did in 2018.
See, in this case for the Congress, after this entire shift, defections happened. They slipped from 80 to about 65, 67. That means they need to jump up another 60 seats.
Yes.
So where will the Congress have to get its votes if it really needs to? That means it has to eat directly either into the BJP votes or into the JDS
again,
votes.
Even for the Congress, the route to power is pretty much similar, except there'll be Southern Karnataka, Old Mysuru, because the Congress, Siddaramaiah and DK Shivkumar, both are from Southern Karnataka. Also, the Congress needs to wrest back some of its lost Muslim vote as well as other votes in the coastal parts. 21, they won just one last time. 20 went to the BJP. Bengaluru, the Congress has always been the party that is ahead. Last time out of 28 seats, the Congress had 15. So these three, they will have to sort of come back in strong. And the one critical area where they will have to sweep is Hyderabad, Karnataka, which is Gulbarga, Raichur, Bidar, that belt. So in a sense, it's like a semicircle for the Congress. Here in Bengaluru city, in South Karnataka, which is the old Mysore belt, Mandya, Hassan, all the way up to Mysore. Coastal Karnataka, which the BJP completely swept last time around, they have to make inroads there in coastal Karnataka. And of course, in Hyderabad, Karnataka, which is one of the most sort of impoverished, let's say, backward places because of a lack of development there. Bidar, Raichur, Yadgir, all of those belts, they will have to make a serious comeback in
so the
in
task
that
is,
belt.
Amaria, just one sec, we just got another number. Like I said, there will be upward revisions that will happen. So let's quickly look at this. This is the ETG numbers that have now been revised based on the latest voter turnout. So we'll get you the overall voter turnout in just a bit, but ETG has revised its numbers. What it's done is it's given a clear mandate to the BJP, to the Congress party, beg your pardon, 106 to 120. So the first pollster to show that a single party is reaching that 120 number. The upward number was 118 so far. This has gone up to 120. So ETG revising the numbers upward for the Congress party, downward for the BJP, 78 to 92. So the lower number, if the Congress gets 120, the BJP will be less than 80 seats. Now that will change the poll of polls once again and swing it again in favor and you know, open up the gap for the Congress party vis-a-vis the BJP. The JDS also slipping down there, so the Congress gaining at the cost of the BJP and the JDS. Now this is Polstrat. Polstrat has also revised the numbers. Polstrat saying 88 to 98 for the BJP, 99 to 109 for the Congress party. So this is again a tight fight, but the Congress party with its nose ahead with at least 10 seats, if I were to take the upper number. Now, 4 more revisions have come in. Jan Ki Baat has revised the numbers. Jan Ki Baat is saying furthermore consolidation for the BJP. 117 is the upward number and 106. So clearly a 11-seat difference. Now, if you want to see this, ladies and gentlemen, 2 of the pollsters have given a 11-seat margin on the upper numbers between the BJP and the Congress, but one is favoring the BJP, the other one is favoring the Congress party. So clearly there is going to be a huge percentage, or there is a percentage of swing votes and that corridor of uncertainty, which pollsters are saying I'll swing this way or that way. Now, eventually, PMark has also revised its numbers. It is 85 to 109 for the BJP, 94 to 108 with the Congress. So again saying neck on neck, but with the BJP slightly just 1 seat nose ahead. That's what PMark is saying. So does this change the entire contours or the entire mega poll of polls? The mega poll of polls now, the BJP slipping, Congress opening up the gap, a 6-seat gap between the BJP and the Congress party. Matriz at this time, again upward revision for the Congress party. 118 is the upward number, 94 is for the BJP. So once again the Congress 118, 120, that's the number. More pollsters leaning towards the Congress doing better than the BJP in these elections. The JDS could break into the 30s, but will perhaps on the upper level remain 4 seats short than last time. Just quickly bringing you the CGS numbers. What does the CGS exit poll say? The CGS exit poll is actually giving the mandate clearly to the BJP at 114 seats. Congress is at 86 and the JDS slips. So the gains for the BJP have come from at the cost of the JDS. That's where. So let's quickly look at the mega poll of polls. Let's quickly look at the mega poll of polls as it appears, ladies and gentlemen. The mega poll of polls, like I said, opens up a 6-seat gap between the BJP and the Congress party, but both falling clearly short of that halfway number. Congress falling 10 short of the halfway number. JDS has 24 seats. So clearly 13 short from last time. The others are 3. But overall, the biggest gainer, the single largest party emerging is the Congress party. This is how it looks like. Rashid Kidwai, Maria.
Congress would have wanted a better number, Rashid, seriously. 118 after all the campaign that they did and the 40% corruption and the narrative that they tried to build. It's hardly a number that would impress them.
Yeah, so Maria, I think there is no point contesting these numbers, but let's remember this, voters are not Santa Claus. They are not going to vote, particularly in a surcharged, boisterous, polarized kind of campaign. People either tend to vote for or against the government. I think some of the pollsters have been slightly, cautious, and they are put in such place that it can go either way. But I think there's going to be a decisive mandate.
आपको नहीं लग रहा कि ये फंसेगा?
No, I don't think so. I think that's what I'm saying. The very nature of politics is such. And if you look at most of the states, Uttarakhand, Himachal, all states have given a very decisive mandate.
So the days of this phasa hua khichdi kind of is not going to have. Let's just quickly go across once again. B.S. Arun and Prakash Belawadi, you believe it won't be hung, it will be a clear mandate. Would you agree, disagree with Rashid Kidwai? B.S. Arun.
Yeah,
please, between the two of you, you're all sitting, both sitting next to each other, please take it.
I don't think it will be a hung assembly. I think people will give a decisive mandate. Having said that, I just want to point out a couple of things about the this exit poll. It shows how complex was the election in Karnataka. It's very difficult to distinguish between parties, and one interesting fact was the reduction in the numbers for Janata Dal S. This means that BJP as well as Congress have eaten into the JDS votes, and if BJP has taken away some votes and which has not translated into seats, then Congress would be a winner in the 56 seats of the old Mysore region, and that would propel Congress towards either closer or even crossing the halfway mark in Karnataka, and I think that would be very crucial.
So, butter plate, benne dosa or bisi bele? Prakash Belawadi.
No, my own view is that, there is a psephologist that I really, I look up to, Dr. Sandeep Shastri. In some interview, he had predicted that, there will not be a 50-50, there will split mandate, there will be a definite clear majority to one party, he said. I don't know with what logic he arrived at that. But here is my worry about that. That is very preferable. It's good for Karnataka if that happens. But the problem is that politicians tend to be smarter than any psephologist, I think, especially mass leaders. And if leaders like Mr. Siddaramaiah or Mr. Shivkumar are beginning to hedge their bets and issuing signals where they need to look at negotiating with the third party, then I think a hung assembly is something that you should look at. But having said that, I want to say something about JDS.
Yeah.
I think people are a little bit tired of JDS actually playing this thing of kingmaker. Actually, JDS has just become a mess maker from last elections, if you see. It has been messy every time they have been in a coalition government. They don't get along with a partner. I don't think it worked out for Congress with them. It didn't work out with BJP with them. Congress twice, it didn't work out. And I think the voters who are backed, especially Vokkaligas, who think that there was a good strategy to play by controlling both the parties, national parties as I call them, especially in the Bangalore municipal body, if you see, the BBMP, all these important committees were headed by JDS. They controlled, the power there. But I think people are tired of that, and I will stick my neck out and say that JDS numbers will be way less than even 24 this time.
Wow.
Okay, so
in that case, maybe one party will get the majority.
Okay, we have Nistula Hebbar also joining us here in the studio. Nistula, when you look at these numbers of exit polls, will you also stick your neck out just as Prakash Belawadi has done and speak about the JDS factor? Will it be a collapse of JDS?
Well, we don't really know for sure. All I know is that Mr. Kumaraswamy seems to have, hold himself up in his farmhouse, and his people are telling me that he's not going to give any on record anything today. But if you want to speak to him off record, he's pretty much willing to talk to you. He's very busy through the day very busy trying to organize that the people, his voters actually came out. The JDS had played a very interesting game in this election in the sense that they knew that this is Mr. Devegowda's last election. There was a sympathy factor riding there. So they thought they would be able to get a lot more out of it. But their own home stretch of Hassan, they had a bit of a problem there, a family problem, where Mr. Revanna, who is Mr. Kumaraswamy's brother, his wife wanted that seat, and Mr. Kumaraswamy refused to give that ticket to her and gave it to his aide, Mr. Swaroop. And that battle is actually a very hard fought one in the heartland of Gowda country. So what they did otherwise is that they have given 28 out of the 212 seats to outsiders. People, turncoats who didn't get tickets from BJP and the Congress, joined the JDS, Chunavi Mausam and all that, and they got tickets. So they are hoping that in areas like coastal Karnataka or Hyderabad Karnataka, even in North Karnataka, where there is really no purchase for the JDS, they may be able to swing something. It all depends on how this gamble pays off. Otherwise, the BRS had made a big show that they would be helping out the JDS in Hyderabad, Karnataka, because those are Telugu-speaking areas, the old Nizam's kingdom, which was carved out and then added to Karnataka. So the BRS said, okay, we will help out, and then finally they didn't. And today I read somewhere that the JDS people were worried that they didn't have enough funds. They would have done better if they had funds. In at least 20 seats, they would have done better. So I asked one of the BRS fellows, why didn't you help them? Because you said you would help them. And they said, no, we figured out that even if we helped them, they would get the same number of seats. Even if we didn't, they would get the same number of seats. So that, JDS is a fixed factor for this election, I would say, because of Mr. Devegowda at the age of,
So you're saying the numbers will be hung, no clear part, no party.
No, I'm not saying that. I still feel that even in the exit polls which show a kind of a hung situation, they always show the Congress to be a little ahead. And one never knows how far this, inclination will go.
Correct.
And the Congress is expected to do well in Belagavi, which is North Karnataka, and it was the Lingayat country, so to speak, and BJP is very strong area. And as I was talking to Maria, in fact, before coming on this show, and I said, when you read an election and you read which party seems to have its, act together, you have to look at what were the questions of the campaign, what are the issues that both parties raised. Here you had a question raised at the beginning of the campaign by the Congress, whether or not the Lingayat votes would be with the BJP in the absence of Mr. Yediyurappa as a CM candidate. And that was a question that Mr. Yediyurappa also had to answer on the last day of the campaign when he addressed a press conference. So that question persisted throughout, and BJP had to keep responding to that. Then they kept hopping from one issue to the other, where they had been called into question. Of course, they are the incumbent government, so their record would be questioned, but they were not able to counter that.
And if the BJP doesn't dominate the Lingayat votes, then that election is over for them. There is no way they are going to win or cross that, get close to that 100 mark. Zaka, we bring in our other guests also, but Zaka, you've got
we have what, 6 polls now. I think 2 are giving it to the BJP, 3 are giving it to the Congress. 1 is saying that no party will be able to form a majority. But I think, on the JDS factor, if you go back to the 2 times that the JDS came to power, in coalition, of course, in 2004, where they had more than 50 seats, and then into 2018, when they had 37 seats, I don't think any pollster is giving either 37 or over 50 for the JDS. So I would tend to agree with what Prakash, I think, was saying, and B.S. Arun was also saying. I think it will be a clear mandate, whether it's Congress or BJP, that's a different matter. Simply because the JDS number, I think the highest that anybody is giving the JDS is 33, and that too at the outer end. The lowest is at 14. But I think the JDS will be in the 20s, in the mid-20s. And at the mid-20s, there is still 200 seats, which are straight fights between the BJP and the Congress. And I think 200 seats is good enough to figure out who will get 113 out of those 200.
We got one more pollster. So C-voter has come through. So let's quickly look at the C-voter numbers. This is the C-voter number. Let's call that up. And let's see if that changes the mega poll of polls average. So C-voter is now saying it's the Congress which will get to the halfway mark at 112. The BJP falling way short. In fact, 9 short at the higher end from their last time score at 95. So yet another pollster has given the mandate to the Congress party. Although there is a big swing, there is a 12-seat swing both ways. And that's what's important. The JDS once again comes into the play with 29 seats at the higher end. Now, if this happens, ladies and gentlemen, once again, it could be a Khichdi Sarkar. The Congress party may just sail through with that 112 plus the others if these numbers hold. Polstrat has once again revised the numbers. Let's try and quickly look at Polstrat. 109 for the Congress party upper end. I'm just going to stay with the upper ends, and 98 for the BJP. So if the Congress gets 109, then BJP will be at about 188. That's what it looks like. So once again, mandate to the Congress party. Let's try and look at the Jan Ki Baat numbers. Jan Ki Baat 117 to the BJP and 106 for the Congress party. So once again, this is Jan Ki Baat saying BJP is taking this election. Somewhere, let's just quickly look at PMark and then we'll go back to our guests and also call up the mega polar polls. It's right at the bottom now. Congress, PMark 108 for the Congress and 109 for the BJP. So PMark saying BJP has just got its nose ahead. These numbers could get revised till the time the final numbers don't come through. There may be pollsters who would revise this based on the final voter turnout, ladies and gentlemen. The mega poll of polls says the Congress is at 102. The BJP has caught up 1 seat over with 95 overall. That's at the bottom of the screen while we put out the entire set of pollsters and their numbers so far. Now, if this voter turnout, I'm going to come back and say the same thing. If there is a surge, where there are reports that there is an evening surge of voters that comes through, if the voter turnout is in the higher 70s overall and close to the 80% mark, finally, there may be revisions that will happen. In favor of the Congress or in favor of the BJP, we don't know, but there could be revisions that could happen. But this is, as it stands, 224 seats, 113 to win or to have majority, 102, 95, 24 and 3. So once again, Khichdi, Bisibele, however you want to look at it, it's all getting stuck there. We've got Adil Boparai with us at this point. Let's go across to him and ask him. Shehzad Poonawala of the BJP is also with. Namaste, Jai Hind to everybody. Adil Singh Boparai, would you take these numbers? Congress, the single largest party, similar to the BJP the last time around?
Congress is crossing 130 seats. The exit pollsters will be wrong. Let the judgment day come. The exit poll numbers are not capturing the extent of support for the Congress party. And
please,
alternatively,
I'll come back to you, please. We've got B.S. Yediyurappa ji with us at this point. Namaskara, B.S. Yediyurappa ji. Your thoughts on the exit polls which say that the BJP may not have the numbers. Can you hear me, sir? My name is Anand Narsimhan. Yediyurappa ji.
Yes, sir. Tell me.
Sir, the exit polls say that the BJP may fall short. More pollsters are saying Congress could have the mandate.
No, according to me, let us wait up to counting. We will get absolute majority and we are going to form the government. Some channels are showing 114 to BJP and something like that. But finally, let us wait up to counting. According to me, we are going to get absolute majority, my dear friend.
Yediyurappa ji, what is giving you confidence? What is making you so confident that you will get the majority?
Because I go around the state and I know the pulse of the people of Karnataka. According to my calculation, we are going to get absolute majority and we are going to form the government. You please wait up to counting.
What is your assessment for JDS in particular? Because most pollsters are suggesting that JDS could go below 20.
Let us wait and see up to counting. Afterwards, we will take appropriate decision. According to me, we are going to get absolute majority.
Yediyurappa ji, some people are saying since you are not contesting, the Lingayat votes may not stick with the BJP and that could hurt the BJP. Do you agree, disagree?
No, that is not correct. Convince the Lingayat community, they are all happy because I myself resigned for chief ministership and also I have decided not to contest for elections. But our community people are happy about my decision. All are going to support us. 101% we are going to get absolute majority. We will form the government. Let
you
us
think a higher voter turnout is advantage BJP, sir? Final question.
Pardon?
higher voter turnout. If the voter turnout is very high, above 75% overall, will that mean it is advantage BJP?
According to me, we will get absolute majority, my dear friend. Let us wait after that.
Okay, so if there is absolute majority, Yadurappa ji, last question, who will be the Chief Minister?
Who will be the Chief Minister if you get absolute
No,
majority?
after the result announced and our High Command is going to take decision, I don't want to tell anything now. This is too early to say anything. Our legislature party meeting, they are going to take decision, my dear friend. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, B.S. Yediyurappa ji. Thank you for your time. So, once again, BSY says, wait for the final numbers to come. We will get absolute majority. Adil Singh Boparai says, we will get absolute
Watching
majority.
his campaign, he was, I think it was very clear that the baton has been passed from him to his son. I think that's very clear. Now the question is, if the BJP were not to win this state, who emerges as the next gen leader of the BJP in Karnataka? I think Vijendra is surely well placed to be.
There is a lot of talk on ground that the BJP has also circulated.
He was also saying that the BJP legislator will decide. He was not saying the
Yes,
incumbent
that
chief minister who would
No, but
be
the BJP is not saying that the incumbent chief minister will decide.
That's a standard position that everybody has said.
No, Anand, when there is an incumbent chief minister, if a party wins under that person's leadership, then obviously the
No, but
claimant of
Rashid,
it.
interestingly, in these elections, the BJP was clear. All the top leaders, whenever that question was asked, whether these elections are being fought under the name of Basavaraj Bommai, they said, wait for the results.
Yes, Maria, he may be
He was not
underdog.
declared as a chief ministerial candidate either. The chief minister was not declared.
Rashid, by the way, I asked Mr. Bommai what happens after May the 13th, what happens to Bommai after May the 13th, he said, my party will take care of me. Whatever that means.
Yeah, somewhere, is there a message that's gone out, Shehzad Poonawalla, by the BJP to the voters that we will ring changes, we will bring new faces, trust us the one more time? Is there a message that's gone in? Does that mean that there is going to be an entire change if the BJP gets absolute majority? New faces, young faces will get a chance.
Change is the only constant in life, Anand. And Anand, if I were to see, even the faces at CNN News 18 have changed. 10 years ago, the faces I used to see have changed.
For that matter, that means you are saying that it's not going to be BJP, it's going to be the Congress party, Shehzad Poonawalla, because change is a constant. So revolving door.
Actually, Shehzad interned with us, so he's remembering the old CNN.
Revolving door content.
So if I may just,
Ji.
Anand, if I may just. Anand, I was observing very keenly before Honorable Yediyurappa ji joined you. Out of the 7 polls you all have averaged out, there are 2 polls that give BJP the decisive edge. There are 4 polls that don't give Congress even the decisive edge, even though it is being said to be an anti-incumbency election. Even the poll of polls say that we have lost just about 4 or 5 seats. And therefore, I put a big red herring, because even Adil has put a red herring on this number saying that they are going to get a bigger number. The reason I say it, what is the percentage of vote? Because the BJP has a far better seat conversion rate than the Congress party in Karnataka. And therefore, if the vote percentage, as per you, I don't know what you all have shown, if it is around 36-37%, even for that with the BJP, I think it will be more than that. Even if it is 36-37%, expect a BJP government to continue.
Here's the thing.
And that
Here's
will
the thing,
be
Shehzad Poonawalla. I may be wrong, but here's the
thing.
thing. If you go below 40%, you had 52% at the Lok Sabha elections in 2019. If your vote percentage slips by about 8 to 10%, you have the chance of coming through with a majority. If your vote share slips below 40%, you are in trouble, sir, in Karnataka, because the Congress has the upswing and it has the groundswell on ground.
Just give me 10 more seconds to add to that. If you are comparing this with the Lok Sabha, then you will have to add one more factor of the Lok Sabha. In the Lok Sabha, the entire JDS vote came to us.
Yes.
Today, my information is that the JDS vote is collapsing completely, and that entirely is except for a few appeasement votes that the Congress might get here and there. The entire vote will come to us, and therefore you will have to give us the vote share of above 40%.
Shankarana ji, you want to respond to that before I bring back Adil Boparai? Yeah.
A very good evening, brother.
Good evening, sir. Namaskara.
The party also, through an independent agency, has conducted an exit poll. It very clearly says the party's vote share from 18% in 2018 will go up to 22% in 2023. And I would like to say, no party in Karnataka will be able to form government without the leadership of Harpanalli, Devegowda, Kumaraswamy.
So you are saying you will once again play a spoiler or kingmaker? Adil Boparai? ये तो बीजेपी कांग्रेस दोनों के लिए तकलीफ है.
It's not about being a kingmaker. It is about respecting the mandate of the people of Karnataka.
देखिए आनंद, there's an old Urdu couplet, I may be getting it wrong, that दिल बहलाने के लिए ख्याल अच्छा है गालिब. But there are two key takeaways which I think there is common ground. Number one, an increased voter turnout ordinarily means a vote for change. Number one.
Yeah.
Number two, and people on the ground will validate what I'm saying, what you will see is a collapse of the JDS. And the conversion rate will be in favor of the Congress party. The votes of the JDS will go to the Congress party. Number two. Number three, the Congress party has led a very positive campaign. And two most pressing issues, now that the election is over, the campaigning is over, two very pressing issues which resonated with the voters of Karnataka were inflation and corruption. This is actually an election which has been fought on these two grounds, notwithstanding the BJP's attempt to polarize the electorate. And you will see on the day of counting, this will bear evidence in the results.
But the point is, did the Congress drop momentum and did they drop it? They had the election in the bag. They could have gone up to not just 130 but 140. Nistula Hebbar, how would you want to see these numbers? Bringing it into the studio between Zaka, Rashid Bhai and
the way I see it, I think everybody gets confused nowadays because of the election, because of what Prime Minister Modi managed to pull off with Uttarakhand and Goa. Those were states which were not on a very strong footing for the BJP.
Correct.
And his campaign there, even in Manipur, managed to get the party full majority in those states. And therefore, his last campaign blitzkrieg here as well. And he did this in 2018 in Karnataka as well, where the BJP was floundering, it was on slippery slope. And he managed to actually pull them. There were literally 20-25 seats which fell into the BJP's kitty because of his campaign. So right now, everybody really doesn't know how to read that last bit of campaign blitzkrieg of Prime Minister Modi, because he's extremely popular in Karnataka.
Let me ask you, how important is a 2% vote swing? How important, if will that take the BJP from say 38-39% into the 40s, 41%? How important will a 2% vote swing be?
See, for myself, I look at it differently. I see that in 2018, BJP had everything going for it in terms of fighting that election and winning that election. Because it was the opposition party, it had to attack the party in power. Its own, Mr. Yediyurappa was the mass leader. He is a mass leader and also commands great support among the Lingayat community. And the coastal areas were also completely firmly behind the BJP. So their own fort was absolutely fine. Mr. Siddaramaiah had taken a few missteps when it came to the Lingayat community, saying that he would declare them as a religion, etc., etc. But even then, they managed to get, what, 104 or 105 seats in that election. They didn't move to the simple majority. And here, there are a lot of problems within the BJP itself. So I really don't know how the Congress would manage to lose this election.
See, because
and I was talking to one of your...
I asked you this 2% question because Sadananda Gowda said PM Modi will effect a 2% swing in votes, and that will matter to the BJP.
That's what he did the last time. BJP leaders.
That's what he did the last time.
And the sense was...
most exit polls are showing a gap of
this whole vote share business. I think Shehzad had a point that even the last time, even though the BJP was 104, single largest,
their vote is
they had 2% vote share less than the Congress. The Congress had 38, the BJP had 36. The question is, see, this is the base with which the BJP is working. They're starting off from 104. How far have you fallen? I think the difference between the last election and this is that the BJP is the incumbent.
Yes.
And not a very popular incumbent government. I think that is the critical difference.
What I'm saying is that if the Congress doesn't manage to win this election, then I really don't know what they will do.
Okay.
Because I was telling your colleague, before coming and joining you here, saying that, look, if this is a thali mein parosa hua election, and they better win this, because otherwise there'll be huge questions on their status as a political party.
Rashid Kidwai was saying कि बीजेपी ने ये इलेक्शन जीत लिया तो कहीं भी जीत सकता है. You are saying कि कांग्रेस ये इलेक्शन हार गई तो कहीं नहीं जीत सकती.
कहीं भी हार सकता है.
But the point is that I spoke to a BJP leader, of course, before the Prime Minister embarked on those blitzkrieg. He said that there were 3 Bs which were a problem: Belagavi, Bidar and Bengaluru. And that Bengaluru tension has been handled because of those 2 road shows, the long stretch of 36 kilometers in South Bengaluru and then in Central Bengaluru. You know, Zaka, that confidence in the Prime Minister, which has been in 2018, it's the same case that the BJP has even this time around. So that 2% that we are looking at.
So I think that Bangalore, look, the Bangalore has always been a Congress town. Yes. I don't think, the BJP has won Lok Sabha elections. In fact, all 3 sitting MPs from Bangalore are BJP. This is how it was in 2018. We've included Greater Bangalore as well, so it's 36 seats. The inner city seats is about 28. But out of that 36, last time around the Congress won 18, the BJP 11. If you were to look at even just the hardcore city seats, the Congress last time had about 15, 16 and the BJP had 9.
Yeah, but 4 of them moved to the Congress, to the BJP later.
They moved to the BJP. Yeah. I think the fight for the BJP in Bengaluru is essentially this. You have the Modi magic. Undoubtedly, some vote will swing in that urban pocket because of Mr. Modi. But you have very entrenched local MLAs of the Congress. A Harris, a George. These are guys, Ramalinga Reddy is an 8-time MLA. To unseat these entrenched local, I wouldn't say the word satraps, but then they're very, very entrenched local MLAs. Will a 2% swing be enough? I think that's going to be a critical question.
I'm saying 2% overall, and there's one more aspect. See, 2019, Rashidji, see, 52% was the BJP's vote share in 2019 Lok Sabha election. In 2018, that number is 36.24%. So there is a 14% gap if you were to look at. Are you saying that in this election they will drop 14% in vote share, or will they be able to hedge it?
No. You're confusing a double ticket election. You're just confusing.
No, I'm not confusing. I'm just saying BJP's electoral tactic is to ensure that there is not more than a 10% slip. The 10% slip is 42% vote share. 42% vote share is past 120. That's why I'm asking you, Rashidji.
No, I think in most states there is this kind of disparity exists between what BJP had done in Lok Sabha and what happens in the assembly election. In this poll of polls, you see they're very interesting. All those survey agencies which have shown poll percentages, there is a gap of 4 to 6% gap between Congress and the BJP. Yeah. So most pollsters are giving 40% to the Congress and about 36, 34, 35% to the BJP. So how it will play out on May 30th is yet to be seen.
But again, in those 2%, Zaka, BJP managed to win a number, almost like 50% of its seats with just a very few margins. What is the margin?
So the thing is that the BJP, as Nistula was saying, in Coastal, for example, I keep going back to this, they maxed out last time. Out of 21 seats, they won 20. Again, in Central Karnataka, they got a large number of seats because Yediyurappa was on the ticket. He was going to be the chief ministerial face for the party. So the Lingayat vote consolidated in Shimoga, Davangere, Chitradurga, that belt. And of course, in Bombay, Karnataka, the BJP has traditionally done well. There are the Marathi speakers there as well. This is also, by the way, Lingayat belt. Lakshman Savdi, for example, comes from this belt. So they maxed out in their regions. They did not make any inroads in the southern part of the state. If you were to divide, Karnataka south of Shimoga, the BJP hardly got any seats, right? The question is, can the BJP make inroads in this belt, the old Mysore belt, to compensate for losses that may be seen in Central or in Coastal, or even for that matter in Bombay, Karnataka? I think the BJP's success or otherwise would depend on that
100%.
in this election.
This is something that I had written in the Hindu as well, and I said it will just boil down to these 59 seats. Usually it is JDS versus the Congress, and BJP is be the nascent sort of power there. And if the JDS shrinks and Congress does well on those seats, then they're through. Otherwise, they have a problem.
Break down this election region-wise and section-wise and say 50. This is the construct, and this is where the BJP, because somewhere for the Congress to win, they need to have a swell, a groundswell, which is of anti-incumbency against the BJP, which is across the board. Is it across the board? Are there labharthis? Are there groupings which are not traditionally being seen? The women voters and the work that the BJP has done on ground in rural Karnataka, central Karnataka, coastal Karnataka to consolidate those critical 90-100 seats which would take them closer to the majority number. Is that going to be very, very decisive? Because a lot of times we end up seeing this from a Bengaluru prism. Prakash Belawadi, Bharat Arun, would you want to come in on this? Before we go back to our political voices, Dr. Ashwath Narayan should also be joining us in a bit. But quickly, Prakash Belawadi, is this important to see Karnataka with various sections or different parts of Karnataka and the issues there and the presence of the political parties there to get to that number of 112?
Absolutely. Absolutely, I think so. I think you should separate Bangalore from the rest of Karnataka, and you should separate even those different zones of Karnataka. They all have very different issues, and to measure how the feelings of people there is a bigger task than actually lumping it all together and trying to find an equation from looking at just Bangalore. But there was a number that you have on the old Mysore, the 58, 59 seats. See, if the votes of the minorities, there was a very interesting thing I want to tell you that happened before the UP election. In one of the interviews, there was this old man, a Muslim, who was telling a reporter that in the past he or people like him, he said we were looking to defeat the BJP candidate wherever he was. We would actually try and vote for a person who could defeat the BJP candidate there. But I think we have now decided that we will together support one party. The Muslim vote will go to one party, he said. I don't know if that worked out like that or not, but that's a very interesting idea. If that happens in the old Mysore region, then Congress will become a very big winner, I would like to say.
Let me ask.
So that is why I'm saying...
Ji, sorry, please complete. Please complete. Please complete.
No, that is why I say that you should look at the election, because Karnataka is so caste, community, subcaste, within the caste, that you have left and right kind of thing. It is because it's so complex, to look at the numbers, like you should take the clue from the politicians sometimes, because if the Congress is signaling in some ways, if their big leaders are signaling that there may be a hung verdict and they need the help of the JDS, okay, and if this has been sensed even before the Congress thought of it by the community, by the Muslims, because who seem marginalized due to the national politics at the moment, if they decide to go with the Congress in toto in Karnataka, then we'll get a very different, very decisive result in favor of the Congress, I think.
So basically there are 6 different regional elections that have been fought in Karnataka. Every region is going to decide whether the Congress will actually cross that 113 mark, the magic figure. And as for the BJP, Zaka, it is about the coastal belt, the 59 seats in that part.
No, the coastal has 21 seats, 21 out of which they won 20.
Yes. South Karnataka.
And South Karnataka is the one that has 59.
Mandia, that's 59.
Look, I want to add one point to what Prakash was saying. Every time we look at Southern Karnataka, we look at Old Mysore and say, oh, Vokiligas vote for JDS, Vokiligas vote for JDS. Last time around, a lot of Muslims also voted for the JDS. Yeah. And this time, because of halal, hijab, whatever, there's a lot of Muslim population in Mysore Mandia.
Yes,
I mean, it's not a small number.
So, Zaka, are you suggesting that what Congress did in the election manifesto proposing ban on Bajrang Dal, it is actually going to help?
I think that was the biggest folly that the Congress could think of,
because
it really gave a rallying point for the BJP.
The Muslim vote in favor of the Congress party.
It could potentially. Look, I don't think the Congress needed to say that for the Muslim vote to consolidate. I think the Muslim vote was already consolidating in favor of the Congress. What it ended up doing had the opposite effect. It started consolidating the BJP voter. The BJP voter, I mean, you had posters coming out saying Hanuman is a Kannada god, and here's the Congress insulting Anjaneya, right? You gave a handle to the BJP. But I'm coming back to this point. Both in Old Mysore as well as in Hyderabad, Karnataka, the Gulbarga, Raichur, Bidar, that belt, again there is a good number of minority electors. And if they start consolidating around the Congress and helping in a way the Congress do well in both Old Mysore as well as in the Gulbarga, Raichur, Bidar belt, then you could see a decisive sort of mandate.
We have Dr. Ashwath Narayan through with us. Ashwath Narayan ji, namaskara. This is Anand Narasimhan here. Thank you for joining us here on our coverage on the polar polls. Zaka is with me, Maria is with me, we have Nistula Hebar, we have Rashid Kidwai, Prakash Belawadi ji is with us, B.S. Arun ji is with us. So a lot of people who are looking at the numbers, what the pollsters are putting. I'm sure you have also had a look. Not many are saying that the BJP will come with not just as a single largest party, but very few are actually saying you will have majority.
You want me to react, sir?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Definitely in the 2023, we have a good ground for the Bharatiya Janata Party to come back. Because Congress has lost its ground. People don't look up to Congress party. It is no more a relevant party. And their leaders or their issues, whatever they have taken up, is not relevant. And whatever they have mentioned in their manifesto also is something which is completely unacceptable to the people of Karnataka.
But the exit poll numbers favor the Congress party, sir. Ashwath Narayan ji, exit poll numbers favor the Congress.
It might be, no. Yeah, definitely whatever the exit poll might be there, sir. But I'm of all the confidence. I can tell you with all the confidence, the result, the 13th, now I can make this statement. Frankly, I'm making this statement with the right understanding, with the right kind of ground level input. I'm making this statement, sir. Definitely, Bharatiya Janata Party is going to get minimum 120 seats in the state of Karnataka. That is the minimum. I am speaking about the minimum numbers.
Wow, 120 seats. Where is it that you are getting this feedback that the exit pollsters are not getting, Ashwath Narayan ji? And where do you think you are going to get maximum votes from or seats from?
You think you will depend only on the exit poll to manage our party or our ground level?
No, you have booth level information, so please tell us.
But are you not also depending too much on the Prime Minister's magic and the charisma? You know, the fact is that the entire election is being seen in two parts. Isn't it true that the entire election was being fought under that name and in the name of Prime Minister Modi? If you look at the advertisements that came out in the papers also, one vote for Modi.
Yeah, definitely. Why not? Yeah, why not? People just love him, respect him, they trust our Honorable Prime Minister. We are talking about double engine Sarkar, the leadership of our Honorable Prime Minister as a country, as a nation first. It's a globalized word. See, it is a globalized word. For a state of Karnataka, it is very important to align with the entire global system. So probably in this direction, the leadership of our Honorable Prime Minister is much respected. We look up to him. His blessing is the people love him, they respect him, they want to give vote in favor of BJP.
You say that it is 120 seats. May I ask you, how many seats are the local BJP leaders winning and how many seats is the Prime Minister winning for the BJP out of these 120?
See, overall, the BJP, I am telling you, the number will be total 120. With regard to the Kittur, Karnataka, the numbers are going to increase in Kittur, Karnataka, in Malnad, and as well as in the coastal area. We are going to retain and as well as increase the number in these 3 areas with regard to the Bengaluru, Greater Bengaluru and Southern Karnataka, Central Karnataka and Kalyan Karnataka. Definitely, we are going to do well, much better than the previous election. And our numbers, I am talking about the existing numbers. I am not talking about more that will happen. The minimum, whatever present numbers are there, definitely we are going to retain. There is no doubt about it, sir.
Do you think that gamble, because you are so confident, then that gamble that the BJP went for in terms of ticket distribution, 30% complete new faces, that will be yielding dividend for you? With new faces.
Yeah, can you repeat, madam?
Yes.
I couldn't
So
hear.
I'm asking you the question that the BJP changed candidates. That led to some kind of rebellion. You lost 2 of your senior most leaders also, a former chief minister and a former deputy chief minister.
See, let me make it very clear. In our party, the leaders doesn't matter. They have been given every possible position. People were really disappointed with the decision being taken by the senior leaders when everything was given to them. When they have left the party, people don't look up to them. It's a cadre-based party, and definitely you can see the result. They'll be completely rejected in their respective constituency. And we have fielded 75 new candidates. People wanted to see fresh faces, new faces, the new opportunity from various backgrounds, from civil officers, doctor, professionals, and well-qualified people have been fielded. 75 new faces have been fielded. I think that is also.
So you are saying, sir, the
working
Congress
to
is
great
saying,
the new reservation
we
policy.
don't agree with the exit polls. Congress is saying we don't agree with the exit polls because we'll win 130 seats. You are saying you don't agree with the exit polls because you will win 120 seats. So who will win? And will you get absolute majority? Will any party get absolute majority? Or will JDS decide who becomes the chief?
The one party which is going to. No. I'll tell you. Let us see on the 13th again. NUO will be there.
Yes.
I can tell you confidently. We are definitely Bharatiya Janata Party can only get, not the Congress Party. Congress Party has lost complete ground. You think they are seeing whom? People are going to vote Congress Party.
Has some calls been made to Deve Gowda, Mr. Deve Gowda and HD Kumaraswamy, based on the exit poll numbers? Because you will have much to be concerned about these numbers. If it is indeed about that kingmaker JDS, then has some calls been made?
We are king. We don't want any kingmaker. We are the kings. Definitely will form the government on our own strength. We don't need any kings. We are only the kings here.
Well, we wish everybody all the best and we hope it's a clear mandate. But thank you very much for joining us, and that confidence that you're exuding, well, that should confuse a lot of people. Thank you very much. But that same combination, Zaka, for the BJP where they want to consolidate, Kittur Karnataka, Coastal Karnataka.
My only sort of issue with that argument is they're already consolidated in the last election. You can only come down from what you won last time. Again, I'm going to run you through those numbers. It was Coastal, it was Mumbai, Karnataka, and he said Central, right? That's about 80 seats, I think, almost. 100 seats, 106 seats. The BJP got 72 out of 106. The Congress only had 31 and the JDS had 2. Look at this. Coastal belt out of 21, 20. Again, in the central belt, they won a large number of seats. And of course, in Bombay, Karnataka, which has always been a Lingayat belt, and there is the Marathi-speaking population there as well. It is the BJP that won a maximum number of seats. These are the BJP's fortresses. The BJP consolidated in these fortresses in the last election. Will they manage to still get 72 out of 106? Again, here in the coastal belt, 20 out of 21, will they be able to retain that despite all of these divisive issues?
What they're trying to do is they want to actually get 90 seats here. They want to erode the Congress party, and out of 106, they want to target 90 seats in this belt. This coastal.
I keep coming back to it. If they get 90 out of 106 in this belt, surely they're making inroads in Mysore, Mandya. Then it's a sweep.
No, that's where, and I'm telling you, this is where they are saying, this is how they are getting to that 120, 125 number within the BJP, where they are confident that in this grouping of 106 seats, they are confident of upping their seats by about 18 to 20 seats. That's why I said the 90 number out of 106. This is what the BJP is saying. Now, whether they're going to achieve that or not is a different story. That's why if you were to see all that activity which has happened in the last 18 months, even before the campaigning actively started, the activity has been in that belt for the BJP. They've been saying that there were certain seats which they lost by about 2,000-3,000 votes. They have identified those seats. They want to consolidate on those seats. And that's why the PM has also spent more time there before he came south towards Bengaluru. So that 19 seats in Bengaluru, these 90 seats here, that automatically takes them closer to that 112 number. 19 seats in Bengaluru is what they are attempting at, aiming. This is the BJP's construct.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Like I said, I don't think BJP's ever got 19 seats out of 28. But I just want to talk about those BJP new faces. This is a strategy they've used in Gujarat, in Uttar Pradesh, in other places. Will it necessarily work in Karnataka? 75 new faces. And if you look at it, the BJP has a bulk of the seats where they've changed candidates happen to be in Old Mysore. Either won by the JDS in the Browns or won by, in the Tumkur, Kolar, that belt, won by the Congress. You have a few seats here in the central part, a few seats in the coastal area as well, and of course in Hyderabad, Karnataka. But really a bulk of those new faces are in the southern part of the state, which is not the BJP's dominant belt, the dominant belt of the JDS or the Congress. I think one other interesting thing that is worth looking at is, again in the coastal belt, out of 21, I think they changed 8 candidates, 8 sitting MLAs out of the 21 in the coastal belt. Will that negate some of the anti-incumbency? Like I said, this is the BJP strategy that they've used in Gujarat, in UP, etc. Will it necessarily work in Karnataka? But out of that 75, it's not like all of those 75 were sitting MLAs. The number of sitting MLAs who had been dropped is only in about 20 or so, 25 if I'm not mistaken, 24 or 25, 28, out of which one was with the BJP, went to the Congress, and now I think is fighting on a Congress ticket. The rest of the 27 MLAs who've been dropped, again, you come back to that. A large number of them here in the coastal belt, some of them in the central belt, in Shimoga, Chitradurga, Davangere, that belt. But otherwise, the BJP has not experimented. Like in Gujarat, for example, they dropped about 30% of their sitting MLAs. Right? Here it's about 10%. I think that factor will also play.
Differentiate Zaka between areas of influence which an individual leader has given you, which is Shimoga and other places, North Karnataka, which is Yediyurappa's belt, and areas of influence which has been because of the party. So where the party is in a strong position, which is coastal Karnataka, where anybody with a BJP ticket will automatically arrive with a lot of advantage. That is where they've been experimenting with new faces, and they feel that this is someplace where they can get away. Another belt is the
Hyderabad Karnataka. If you just pull out Hyderabad Karnataka, this is again where why the BRS backed off, not just because of the JDS factor. This tight fight of 31 seats between the Congress and the BJP. The BJP has been actively working in this Hyderabad Karnataka belt also, with Bandi Sanjay and that group spending a lot of time in the in the Telugu speaking belt. We've got a reaction from Bommai, Basavaraj Bommai. Let's listen in.
% complete majority, comfortable majority, and the real poll results will be there on 13th. I think everybody should wait till 13th.
So the polls are showing that some polls are showing neck to neck, and showing BJP at 95 and Congress at 106. Do you still feel that the exit polls are getting it wrong?
No, exit polls are exit polls. It can't be 100%. And there will be plus or minus 5% variations in all polls. That is it will be in the bracket. So that can change the whole scenario.
Sir, in case Congress said that EC has reported a huge increase of voter turnout. This is a very positive sign for Congress party depicting an anti.
It is other way around.
Against BJP.
See, always if you go by the track record, the more number of voters turn out is always better for the BJP, not for Congress. And this shows that a lot of people who otherwise not come and voted, especially in urban areas, they have come and voted. So that is the positive sign for BJP.
Sir, are you in talks with JDS if there is hung?
There is no question of hung. We are going to get absolute majority, I am telling you.
So the Congress is making allegations that near Dandeli, already buses have come and they are approaching their MLAs, sir, BJP, MLA candidates.
This is all their figment of imagination. Thank you.
We've got one more set of numbers, ladies and gentlemen. Shehzad Poonawalla with us as we bring in this one more set of numbers. Basavaraj Bommai repeating what Dr. Ashwath Narayan said. There is no question of talking to the JDS. We are getting absolute numbers. Let's look at the Rajniti numbers. The Rajniti numbers, Shehzad Poonawalla, as we're calling this up, shows the BJP at 100, the Congress 8 behind at 92, the JDS just 6 short of their last time number, but at 31. So JDS playing kingmaker. So this kingmaker aspect is a lot of pollsters saying it could still be, it will still come through. There's one more pollster. CNS has come in with its exit poller. So let's look at the CNX exit poll. CNX says the BJP will be 90 tops, but the Congress will get 120. So another pollster giving Congress the mandate, not the BJP. So where is this confidence for the BJP coming from? Shehzad Poonawalla. Shehzad, are you there?
A decisive lead. Yeah, I'm
here.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Sorry, your audio was down. Now it's up. Go ahead, please.
Out of the 8 polls you all have sampled or taken together, 3 have given us a decisive lead. Forget what the numbers are. I am saying that there is no consolidated trend, that there is massive anti-incumbency against us. And this is bucking a historical trend. The entire election by the Congress was manifested on the fact that there is huge anti-incumbency. They themselves don't believe in it simply because the way they went for politics of appeasement shows that the so-called anti-incumbency narrative wasn't working on the ground. And in fact, I can tell you that there is now something called a pro-incumbency. Modi means pro-incumbency. Uttarakhand,
but it's not reflecting. It's not reflecting in the exit polls.
Uttar Pradesh,
the numbers don't show it.
No, 1 second. I'll tell you the reason for that, Anand. the conversion of vote share into numbers is a tricky science. It's actually hocus pocus. So please don't be so in a hurry. Just go by the vote share. If the vote share of BJP is not being touched, that means that conversion onto seats will be much more what you're showing right now on the screen, and I can assure you
pollsters
that
are giving you the pollsters are showing at least a 14 to 15% erosion, if not more, compared to your 2019 performance, and also lower than what you got in 2018. 36.8% last time in 2018. A lot of them are saying आपको 34-35% मिल रहे हैं, तो आपको तो वोट शेयर गिर रहा है, बढ़ नहीं रहा है.
One second. First of all, let's compare Lok Sabha to Lok Sabha. Let's not compare apples to oranges, because then we'll have to factor in a lot of other comparisons. But having said that, after the massive anti-incumbency, all these so-called exit polls are telling us that we are getting 1% less. Is that massive anti-incumbency in a state like Karnataka?
Let Adil respond to this. I think Adil should respond to this.
Just one line. The strategy of the Congress to do what Bengal could manage because of its 30-35% minority vote share in a state which has 13% minority vote share will boomerang, and you're not seeing that coming. So it is boomeranging.
You are saying that the Congress is a case of over-reliance on the minority vote, and that is the reason why they perhaps put the ban on Bajrang Dal deliberately. Rashid, before I bring in Adil.
I think it's the outcome that determines everything, and we'll have to wait till May 13, because we're going by conjecture. But all those exit polls that I keep repeating don't go by the number or the direction they are saying, but you look at the poll percentage. There is a clear 5 to 6, 7% difference between the BJP and the Congress. How do you explain that?
Yes, Shehzad Poonawalla.
No, even last time the Congress was ahead of us.
2%,
the Congress
2%.
party has always been ahead of us. Their vote, however, is more scattered across the region. Our vote converts into bigger share of seats. This is just established fact. Ask Zaka, he's doing the numbers, he's crunching the numbers. I am only saying that if after a 5-year entire might of the Congress,
please pause. Priyank Kharge is reacting, just going across to that and coming back to you.
Well, I haven't seen the numbers very clearly, but if I'm to believe that what people say, and what's coming off the exit polls is that the Congress government is going to be in power, and we're very close to forming the government, and I'm sure that once the counting is done on 13th, we will form the government.
Kharge is saying we will form the government, Shehzad Poonawalla.
No, देखिए ख्यालों को कोई हकीकत से ना जोड़ो. नहीं, खड़गे जी के ख्यालों को कोई हकीकत से ना जोड़ो, भ्रम के इस आईने को कोई पत्थर से ना तोड़ो. He can dream. I mean, there's no habit, there's no problem in dreaming.
तो फिर आप भी तो कह रहे हैं कि हम तो अटकेंगे सनम, तुम भी अटकोगे.
नहीं,
आप भी तो वही कह रहे हो.
मैं तो कह रहा हूं कि हम स्पष्ट बहुमत वाली सरकार बना रहे हैं. जो आप नहीं देख पा रहे हो वो मुझे यहाँ पर बैठे बैठे साफ दिखाई दे रहा है कि ये वो कहते हैं ना कि
मैं कह रहा हूँ
ये चौबे जी बनने क्या वो कहावत है.
हाँ है.
नहीं, this is a classic case where the Congress thought that it could be smarter than half, and it has scored a massive self goal. In the thirst for 10%, 12%, they have lost a huge chunk. Please see the sentiment. This is a sentiment that might not be capsulated by the exit polls.
So are we really ignoring the elephant in the room again? You're not addressing that, the JDS factor. We have JDS spokesperson as well. Did the Congress somehow manage to convert this into a bipolar fight by bringing in that Bajrang Dal angle?
Shankarana ji, are you there? Oh, we've lost Shankarana ji, but you believe it's now a two-way fight? Yes, the JDS will not play at all? Both parties want to believe that.
I'd like to see that happening first, And only then will I believe it, because I have seen too many times that the Gowda families managed to pull a rabbit out of the hat. I always have a soft spot for Mr. Kumaraswamy as Karnataka Chief Minister, because as I always say, that he was the only one who gave me an interview the first time I asked him. So, you know.
No, but I was
I would really like to believe, I'll believe it when I see it, is what I want to say.
Interview also part of the preview. He's called Gaudru. And Gaudru on a wheelchair at 94, 95. 100%. I think for his voters, it does make a difference. But
Look, I keep coming. The sympathy factor is sometimes exaggerated. You look at case of Mr. Amrinder Singh in Punjab, it didn't work.
No, I can say with fair degree of certainty, Amrinder Singh and Deve Gowda in their respective states are not viewed the same.
It worked for Mr. Badal.
Yeah.
He had a bereavement in his family and he won a second unprecedented term.
Correct. See, here it is among the caste groupings. See, the biggest aspect is that if the Vokaliga votes go en masse to the JDS, then the chances of the BJP actually getting closer to that halfway mark is greater than the Congress party getting to the halfway mark. It's a sizable number that Vokaliga vote.
The one factor that was going against the JDS, I think Nisula referred to, is I think the family itself is not settled. I think they were not able to set their house in order between Revanna and Kumaraswamy. And I think that percolates down. In fact, Mr. Deve Gowda at 94, 95 was campaigning more than Kumaraswamy or Revanna were doing. I think that also sends out a message.
And this Mrs. Ambarish, the last time around...
Oh, she was quite unpopular because I travelled to Mandya. Every time I would mention her name, people would just start throwing their hands around saying, you know, last time we gave her a vote because there was some sympathy factor. And the BJP did not put up a candidate. They supported her as an independent. Congress also put a weak candidate, so she won. This time we will not do that. Although there was a lot of sympathy for Prime Minister Modi. I mean, there was a lot of love for him.
See, is this going to translate? These last 10 days, 25th of April to the 9th of May, the 8th of May, and what the Prime Minister has been able to do, is that going to be a huge factor, ladies and gentlemen?
In 2018.
We have to see. We have not even got the final voter turnout numbers as the Election Commission says. If it is higher than last time, what does that imply and for whose benefit is it? There is a certain quiet confidence on both sides, the BJP and the Congress. In fact, three sides, because the JDS believes it is there in the mix, whatever. So everybody is fancying their chances. It makes it an interesting election and of course an interesting poll of polls. And of course, a fun coverage. Stay with us. We're going to take a very short break. We'll be right back. And central Karnataka and coastal Karnataka, will that swing it for the BJP, get them those critical 10-15 seats which they want to get past that 112 number? We'll have to wait and watch. 5.3 crore voters in all. That's a huge base, ladies and gentlemen. Huge base. So if an 80% turnout also means that nearly a crore voters would not have cast their ballots. That's very big. Revolving door results since 1989. What will that do? We'll have to wait and watch. Will that change? Will the BJP buck the trend? Factionalism within the Congress party, how much will it hurt? Kharge versus DK Shivkumar versus Siddaramaiah, or will it not matter at all? Will each of these satraps within their own caste combinations pull the votes in the direction of the Congress party? Will the big defections of the BJP, will that hurt the BJP? Especially the Lingayat leaders, because that was the stronghold of the BJP always. And these new measures which the Election Commission has experimented with the senior citizens, home voting for those above 80. If it works in Karnataka, will they now implement the template in all the other states? And eventually at Lok Sabha 2024. We'll have to wait and watch. There's a tight fight in 46 urban seats. And in 112 assembly seats, ladies and gentlemen, the women dominate. I'll come to that in a bit. 67 seats are Lingayat dominated seats. Nearly 55 seats are Vokaliga dominated seats. Will that be the decider, or will this be the decider? 112 seats with more women voters than men. Will the women also consider the caste combinations, or will they work at a different level? What they think is going to work for them? So many questions that come to mind. So many equations beyond what we see at the surface level. Of course, the forefront of that thing that you see there behind Zaka. You know, it's the magic wall which will get you all the portrayal.
Zaka, you've named it Karnataka Magic Wall this time.
Yeah, we've added a little more magic to the magic wall.
Magic to the magic.
Live tracker. Right now it's showing the past 99, 2004, 2008. But on counting day, you'll have a live tracker. So at 8 a.m. who was leading, at 8:15 who was leading, at 8:20 who was leading. So that's a live tracker that we've added. This, of course, is the wagon wheel of the House, which everybody is familiar with. And this is how the House stood at the end of the 2018 election. 104, BJP single largest party, Congress at 80 and JDS at 37. But of course, things change because 17 MLAs from the JDS and the Congress jumped ship and joined the BJP. So in the outgoing assembly, the BJP had 117. So we've added a little more magic. This, like I told you, is the real-time tracker. Right now, you're seeing past results, but on the day of counting, you will see 8 a.m., 8:15 a.m., 8:30 a.m. If there is a trend that changes through the course of that counting morning, you will see that here on our live tracker. And then, of course, we have the wall itself. We've added a few more factors this time around. This is how the map of Karnataka looked at the end of the 2018 election. Will it be a sea of saffron, as you're seeing here in the coastal part, in central Karnataka, here in Mumbai, Karnataka as well? Or will this map change? We will know that on the 13th. What we will know tonight, though, folks, what will we know tonight?
Wait, know tonight the exit pollsters. What the pollsters are saying and what's the poll of polls. And many people are saying there's only one party that even now, after all this, stands a semblance of a chance to become the
single largest party.
Party with majority. Single largest party, two parties had the chance. Only one party has a chance to even get to majority. Do the pollsters say that? As Zaka said, between the 25th of April till the 10th of May, or the 8th of May, a lot has been done by the BJP, especially by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Does that have an impact? And more importantly, ladies and gentlemen, we will get the final voter turnout numbers. Let's see, 2018, the average voter turnout was about 72%, but in Bengaluru, it was very low. It was in the mid-50s, if I remember correctly, and that was way below the average. Now, if Bengaluru comes out to vote in big numbers and the overall voter turnout is 80%.
77%. So I think
Yeah.
overall voter percentage.
If it hovers around 80%,
Yes.
then it's anybody's game, because usually the BJP says higher voter turnout is advantage them. But this could also be anti-incumbency, people coming out in large numbers to drive out the BJP.
So there
which way
were
do
two
we look
elections largely. If we were to divide these elections in Karnataka, one election before 25th of April, in which, and another election post 25th of April, where national became local. So what the Congress did before 25th of April, did they actually manage to resonate with people post 25th of April? We'll know about it in the next few hours only.
This will be a test of magic of PM Narendra Modi and how much of it translates into the state assembly elections. Because largely we've seen that they say central Lok Sabha, Modi, different state, local issues, that's what we do, and the voters become very discerning. But will they be able to tide over that, and will they give PM Modi a chance to say new leadership promise, and we will do a complete overhaul, and it won't be 40% Sarkara? We'll have to wait and watch. Congress, meanwhile, very, very confident. Rashid Kitwai is also with us in the studio, but before we get talking to him, let's try and signpost. Let's try and understand here on air, Alexa, what are the talking points of this election? Why is it so important? And where's this fight all about? So let's try and zoom out a bit and the big numbers. There you go. Fantastic creation this by our graphics team, give you a visual appeal. See, more than 5 crore voters overall, plenty of aspects to talk about. Let's first start about the fight. The fight is about 224 seats, ladies and gentlemen. 224 seats at the assembly, that's up for grabs. The halfway number 112, majority mark 113. And some of the big challenges. The scorecard, if I were to bring back the scorecard from the last time around, the BJP was the single largest party, so near yet so far for them. The Congress had 80, the JDS had 37 seats. Will they do that 37 number this time? Because then they come back into the Hunters Kingmakers. But on ground they say no, perhaps those votes will shift towards the Congress en masse, or the BJP could gain. This aspect, this man, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, what he turned out on his roadshows in Bengaluru.
जब पोलिंग बूथ में बटन दबाओ ना, तब जय बजरंग बली बोल करके सजा दे देना।
इनको 40 नंबर बहुत अच्छा लगता है, इसलिए इनको 40 नंबर इतना अच्छा लगता है। इस इलेक्शन में आप इनको 40 सीटें दे दीजिए। अगर कर्नाटक में चोरी हुई है तो दिल्ली को भी फायदा मिला होगा। ये चुनाव कर्नाटक की जनता का चुनाव है, नरेंद्र मोदी का चुनाव नहीं है।
Bengaluru sky that we get to see here on CNN News 18's Air Alexa as we get you poll coverage like none other. ये तो सिर्फ ट्रेलर है, पिक्चर अभी बाकी है. On result day, ladies and gentlemen, the beautiful ISKCON temple, Hare Krishna temple in Bengaluru. That was the view. But what we will start with, as I say namaste and jai hind to our viewers, is the mega poll of polls. The numbers are here. We have Maria Shakil, Zaka Jacob, Nistula Ebar in the studio. Our guests are joining in, getting mic'd up. But these numbers are what you need to consider. A ready reckoner of what the pollsters are saying. And right at the bottom is the moral of the story. That no party is getting a clear mandate. They are within each other's grasp and reach. And somewhere the JDS will say, Aana to mere paas hi padega. That's what it looks like at this point. BJP minus 10 from the last time around. Congress nearly plus 23 from 2018. And the JDS minus 12, but still the kingmaker. That's what it looks like at this point as the poll of pollsters. 2 or 3 pollsters have given BJP the mandate, saying it would be the party with not just the single largest party, but with absolute majority. There are 3 pollsters, if not more, who say Congress will emerge not just as the single largest party, but it will even get close to that 120 number, which means absolute majority, very, very comfortable. That's what it looks like. So overall, the trend being that the Congress is the one that will dominate the discourse in the mind of the voter and will get more of the votes and the seats overall. But let's go straight across to Tejaswi Surya, MP, and who I met on the campaign trail in South Bengaluru. Tejaswi, namaskara. The numbers don't seem to be very encouraging for the BJP. Namaskara. They're very contrary to what you believed it would be.
Zaka,
This is Anand here, Zaka is there. I'll get Zaka in after this. Yes, Tejaswi.
Sorry, who am I speaking to?
Anand Narsimhan.
Hi, Anand. Hi. Sorry, Anand. There's no camera.
No, not
here.
at all. Not at all.
Zaka
Please go ahead.
Zaka
is also here. We'll bring him in.
So, Anand, I can tell you with a lot of confidence that these exit polls are going to be proven wrong on the 13th of May. And I can say this after I have collected reports from a lot of our Karyakartas who have manned the booths today all across the state, especially in Bengaluru, especially in Mysuru and the urban regions of Karnataka, in coastal Karnataka. So most of them are saying that they are witnessing a Lok Sabha election type of a surge in the turnouts, especially in those areas which are traditionally BJP strongholds. That is giving us a lot of hope. It is on their inputs, on the basis of their inputs, that I say that we will be forming a full majority BJP government on the 13th of May.
But Tejaswi, this is Maria. The question is that, there are so many exit polls, all of them hinting in one direction, most of them in fact, that it would be very different from what the BJP is hoping.
There are many instances where most of the exit polls, most or majority of the exit polls have gotten things wrong. But even in this, in fact, Jan Ki Baat is predicting 116 or 117 to the BJP. Then there's another poll which CGS. Is, I don't remember the name, but CGS. It is saying 110 plus for the BJP. So, there are some surveys and polls which are giving majority to the BJP, some are giving majority to the Congress. It only indicates that these pollsters are clueless, that this is too close an election to call, and therefore the only real results will come on the 13th of May. Given this as the backdrop, as the context, and this is, this is how the, this being the case with the exit polls, I would place my bet on the inputs that our booth level karyakartas are giving, because they have Form C, they have the annexures with them, they have just gotten out of the polling booths, they are making the compilations, they are telling which are the booths where the voter turnout is higher, whether that particular booth is a BJP stronghold or not. It is on the basis of their inputs that I am telling you that BJP will be the single largest party.
Please stay with us. We've got
well.
the former Chief Minister of Karnataka, Jagdish Shettar ji. Jagdish Shettar ji, namaskara. Tejasvi Surya and the BJP believe they have the mandate. Exit pollsters are saying Congress will win. What do you think will happen?
No, according to exit poll is concerned, almost all exit polls, they are saying that Congress is gaining, and according to almost all majority exit polls shows that Congress will be a single largest party.
But when you say
and according to me,
yes, Jagdish Shettar ji, when you say single largest party is still the magic number, do you think you'll need the support of the JDS, whether it will be a hung house?
No, in so many exit polls, it shows more than 100 seats, 18 seats, up to 180 seats also. It shows that Congress is ahead and is going to
be the single largest party, and absolute majority is a difference, no, Jagdish Shettar ji. Tejasvi Surya is saying his booth level information is BJP has majority, absolute majority. How would you want to respond to that?
Who is saying?
Tejasvi Surya is also with us. The booth level karyakartas of the BJP are saying.
BJP always telling what is the exit poll. BJP always telling we are getting 150 seats, but according to me, even exit poll says single largest party to the Congress.
Okay, I want to ask Tejasvi Surya a question. Tejasvi Zaka here about Bengaluru city, and you are largely focused on Bengaluru city. It has always sort of tended to vote for the BJP in the Lok Sabha elections and Congress in the assembly elections. Out of 28, again, most exit pollsters are giving closer to 15, 16 to Congress and about 10, 11 to BJP. Why do you believe that's not accurate?
Well, I would repeat what I said earlier. The inputs that I am getting from our karyakartas on the ground who have been manning the tables at the booth all day long, they are saying that the turnout that the turnout that they are witnessing today, the higher turnouts are in the BJP strongholds. So even in seats which BJP itself has designated had C seats, C category seats, where the chances of our victory was bleak, the reports that we are getting is that there is a very close contest and that may even win those seats.
Okay.
Even before I got on this interview, karyakartas from 2 such seats in my own constituency are calling and saying that, sir, there may be a very big surprise on the 13th of May. So this is the kind of inputs I'm getting. And that's where I'm telling you, that's why I'm telling you that these reports, these exit polls may actually go horribly wrong on the 13th of May when BJP will be emerging as a single largest party.
We have senior Congress leader, former Union Minister, Mr. Veerappa Moily also joining us. Mr. Moily, exit polls, generally the direction, the trend seems to be that the Congress may emerge as either single largest or be within striking distance of coming to power. But BJP leaders are feeling that what the feedback that they are getting from their ground level workers is that they are ahead and that there is a surge, a Modi surge that is working in favor of the BJP. Mr. Moily.
Yeah, if there is Modi surge and there is a hurricane effect on the polls, it could have been witnessed in the exit poll. After all, these apologists cannot be wrong at every side. They can be wrong in some place. Here, according to what the figures I get, the percentage of votes have also increased as far as the Congress is concerned, more than 5%. Seats are also increased. That means backing up the percentage and this. In fact, last 2018 also, percentage of votes secured by Congress was much higher than the BJP. they got more number of seats. That's all.
Okay.
But this time, it tallies. That means to say this is supporting evidence to show that the Congress is going to come out successful, and they will definitely reach out the magic.
Mr. Veerappa Moily, I want to understand from you, sir, what do you think would have worked for the Congress? If you're confident that they would emerge not only as the single largest party, but will form the government as well, what do you think has worked for the Congress party?
Right from 5 years time, I was witness that Congress worked right from the booth level to the top PCC level. And our leaders at the state level, district level, block level, and also the booth level have been very active, mobilizing the people, conducting very successful rallies, which I have not witnessed in my 50 or 55 years of career in Congress, because I never left the Congress. I have been continuously in the Congress party. This kind of a campaign has never happened. I think this has to result positively. This has to result in positive results as far as the Congress party is concerned.
But is the Congress party not really calculating the last 10 days? When Mr. Modi was on ground, he was holding road shows, he was holding campaign meetings. Do you think that is being discounted right now?
No. If it was to be counted, we would have witnessed at least today, if not earlier, wave in favor of BJP.
Tejasvi,
today
one
I
of the
have visited
points,
number of today, and I could find no wave at all.
Okay.
In fact, if there is any wave, it is in favor of the Congress, Indian National Congress.
One of the points, Tejasvi, that leaders like Mr. Moily and other Congress leaders we've been speaking to this evening, they are making is, even in the vote share analysis, forget about how it converts into seats, even in the vote share analysis, most exit pollsters are saying that the Congress's vote share would be anywhere between 4 to 6% higher than that of the BJP statewide.
Well, I would want to say this, at the cost of repetition, that, there are 6 or 7 exit polls that are lying here in front of me, and, most of them are, not convergent. Every exit poll is giving a different number. It only indicates that the pollsters are clueless, or that this is too close an election to call. So the best thing is to base my opinion on the basis of the inputs that I am getting from my karyakartas, because they, according to me, are the most trustworthy political source so far as the BJP is concerned, so far as I am concerned. So basing my opinion on the kind of inputs that I am getting from my karyakartas from the ground, I can tell you that please wait till the 13th of May, whether it is with respect to vote share, whether it is respect to the number of seats. The people of Karnataka, the real polls, the real results will come, and we are very confident. Even now I am telling you, because even just before I got on this interview, I had a phone call trying to collate inputs from different booth karyakartas, and all across it's a very optimistic sign that all of them are giving, especially in Bengaluru. They are giving a very optimistic sign.
I'll come back to you.
Most of these exit polls are predicting doomsday for BJP in Bengaluru.
Yeah,
so I wouldn't want to base my opinion on these
urban
exit polls.
pockets you're speaking about, Tejasvi. This is Anand here. I just have a quick question for Veerappa Moily ji. Veerappa Moily ji, one of the aspects is compared to 2018 when the Congress had 80 seats, there was a bit of an erosion when the government changed, defections happened. So the Congress has to make the largest ground, cover the largest ground. When pollsters are predicting 120 seats, that means you're gaining about 50 to 55 seats overall from a 65, 67 seat base. Where do you think the Congress is going to make the largest gains?
The area-wise, wherever we had deficiency in 2018, we have made up that. Because particularly Kittur, Karnataka area is concerned, we have gained a lot. And even in coastal region is concerned, we are bound to gain, some more seats. There is always a plus. As far as Hyderabad, Karnataka is concerned, yes, we are going to have a tremendous increase. So central, this thing is the last time you remember,
yes,
2018,
yes,
out of 29 seats, we got only 2 or 3 seats.
Right.
But whereas here, this is, we are going to definitely double up our figures in the old Mysore area. That kind of a last hostility which was there in this area against the Congress party is totally absent. Same thing will happen. Lingat belt and also Ukkaliga belt. You know, there is a tremendous improvement because they are very angry with the BJP.
So,
one second,
yes.
Mari. I just want to ask Tejasvi the same thing. Tejasvi, Veerappa Moiliji has outlined the same belts where you are saying the BJP has turned out higher number of voters. So now this is where, so the Congress is hoping to pinch a huge number of seats from you. That means the BJP. You are saying in these places you are actually doing better than the last time around. So this is where the contradiction is. More pollsters are giving the Congress 120 seats. Now today's Chanakya has also given 120 seat projection to the Congress. They're not giving it to the BJP. So where do you think you are going to make the numbers?
Well, see these numbers that are, you know, most of the times these exit polls are dependent on, say, the afternoon data, not you know, the data that's, say, at 6 p.m. And secondly, many times these exit poll datas many times do not you know, calculate or rather consider or factor in where exactly in a particular constituency there is a higher turnout or there is a higher representation in number of votes you know, cast. So those are two important factors that exit polls have to consider, which many a times are not considered. Which is why I am telling you, one of the important questions that we ask our booth agents is which are the booths where the polling percentage has increased. For example, if there's a particular booth where the BJP traditionally is not strong, and if the polling percentage there has increased, then it is fair to assume that it may go against us. But if the polling is increased in areas, in booths where we traditionally perform well, and we do not see a lot of anti-incumbency or a vote that is, you know, driven out of anger, then it would be fair to assume that it would be in favor of the BJP.
Right.
So in many of these pockets, in many of these areas where I am asking for inputs, Karyakartas are of the opinion that a lot of voter percentage turnout, the increase in voter percentage, voter turnout, is in these areas where the BJP is traditionally strong. Which is why they are so upbeat. And Karyakartas also give you inputs that, you know, while people are coming to collect the voter slips, they are preferring to come to a BJP table and not go to a Congress table. There are so many such factors that the Congress, our Karyakartas are saying from the ground, and on basis of that I can tell you that we will be a single largest party. But we should wait till the 13th of May before the Congress party starts celebrating.
That we will. We are right now
exit
looking at
polls,
only the
because none of
exit
these
poll
exit
projections.
polls are clearly giving a mandate to the Congress.
Right. Tejasvi Surya, thank you very much for your time. Veerappa Moiliji, are you confident of getting an absolute majority? Because both the BJP and the Congress need that absolute majority. They don't need the spoiler or the kingmaker in terms of the JDS. I'm just quickly going to ask you this. Are you confident that whichever party gets the mandate will get an absolute mandate?
We will definitely get comfortable majority where BJP cannot disrupt, like with their Operation Kamala. You know, we will definitely, you know, this time this will not work. Such maneuvering will not happen. Moreover, I don't think neither me nor Tejasvi are psephologists. I'm not a psephologist. I must confess, I'm not. But, you know, as he said, you know, we work on the workers.
Yes.
And, you know, the people, the leaders, everywhere. I have gone to number of hundreds of the booths today. I found, you know, definitely there is a wave in favor of the Congress party, not against the BJP.
But
BJP, you know, they have committed a number of blunders, which they cannot make up by speeches, like, you know, what Tejasvi speaks.
Right.
I don't think, you know.
So when you talk about blunders,
the Karnataka people have to go by the realities. I think the BJP came to power in Karnataka by default, not with their positive efforts. And that is how this is what is that will be reflected by their Karyakartas.
Right.
Could the Congress,
because this is the only state which has gone to BJP.
You know, if the Congress were to win a decisive mandate, in hindsight, would you also say, Mr. Moily, as a senior leader of the party and also someone who is a veteran from this state, that mention of banning of Bajrang Dal could have been avoided? Because that certainly gave a fillip to the BJP campaign towards the end.
Yeah, you are right. I think you have put a right question. We are not banned. We don't intend to ban, which I have already said. We should read the sentence clearly with a full understanding. You know the circumstances under which those clauses are added. Here is the Home Minister, Amit Shah, said openly that if you vote for, this is a threat to the electorate. And which threat, people, I don't think, Karnataka people, will treat it as a threat to sovereignty of this state.
Right.
And that is a threat, he said, that there will be rioting if the Congress is voted to power. What does it mean? That has been taken into consideration.
Veerappa Moiliji,
Number two, there's a Supreme Court decision which said, suo motu you can register cases against all these people who go for vendetta politics or the politics of crime, politics of hate.
Yes.
This is the second thing. And matter in which many disruptions have taken place in Karnataka, particularly in the coastal
for all that, the voter has already cast her ballot.
So anybody, including the PFI or Bajrang Dal, cannot be, it's inherited from the Anjaneya. I am a person who has written epic poem.
Correct, sir. It is about the optics and the interpretation, whether or not it hurts the Congress or helps the BJP. The mandate has been cast, Veerappa Moiliji. The ballot has been cast. We'll know it on counting day. We'll know on counting day.
BJP leaders also, and ultimately, I don't think with their interpretation now can be served as a canvas.
Absolutely. Sir, with this humble request that you must promise to join us again on the broadcast on the 13th. I thank you very much for your time. It's always a pleasure speaking with you. Thank you very much. Quickly, ladies and gentlemen, more guests are with us, but getting you two more numbers. Today's Chanakya has come out with its numbers. I think we've got the Axis numbers also. Let's quickly look at Axis My India numbers. So Axis numbers are 122 to 140 for the Congress. So it's a runaway victory for the Congress party that Axis My India is actually putting out. 62 to 80 seats for the BJP. So if Congress gets to that 140 number, it's a full swing. A major anti-incumbency wave is what they are saying. And it is in favor of Siddaramaiah and Congress party. And the BJP, if the Congress gets 140, the BJP will be at 62. That's the projection. So that just changes the whole dynamics. Is this an outlier? We'll have to wait and watch. Today's Chanakya also giving the Congress party 120 seats, the BJP 92 seats. So clearly, two pollsters now giving absolute majority to the Congress party. One of them giving it a runaway victory, 140 for the Congress party. Is that kind of wave visible on ground?
I don't think it's a 140 election. I mean, SM Krishna got 132 in 1999. I don't think bigger election than 1999. I think, 120, both Axis and Chanakya saying that. I don't agree necessarily with the Chanakya figure of JDS. JDS won't be reduced to 12 seats. I think they're stronger than that. I think it would be in the sort of 20s. Obviously, who that takes away from, whether it takes away from Congress or whether that takes away from BJP, that is something that we need to watch.
Fair to say the exit polls are as muddled as Karnataka election scenario itself?
Don't look at the actual figure that they are giving. I think I look at two things. One is the direction. I think more pollsters are suggesting that the Congress would either cross or will be within striking distance of crossing. And two, I think the critical factor is the DK Shiv Kumar, I think, is speaking on ANI.
Know the work what we have done. We have not slept for a day. You saw me. I was exhausted. You had to follow me. I could not even stand on my vehicle. That was my situation. And the people also have confidence on us. They want a change in Karnataka, for a better Karnataka, for a progressive Karnataka, for a corruption-free Karnataka. And it is a global Karnataka. People are highly educated. They are looking at the larger interests because the double engine has failed. If the double engine had worked out, even one engine had worked out, forget Karnataka engine, even if one engine had worked out, Modi wouldn't have stayed here, or Amit Shah wouldn't have stayed here. They did their best here because if they had helped the people on development, on ethical issues or morality or anything, whatever may be, it was not for. In no crisis the government just looked at. See, the image of Karnataka was so dead. Even Prime Minister could not help it or could not control them. The birth of this Operation Lotus system came from here, no? That is why I'm sorry, but what all the statements Honorable Prime Minister has made, he did not speak on development. He spoke on what has been accused on him. That is not the number he has to give. We should tell, I have done this, I have created jobs like this, I have brought investment here. People in Dakshina Kannada, in Mannad, they voted for me last time, so I have given this strength to them. See, always people expect, no?
What will be your new strategy and your party's strategy?
My strategy is there is no strategy. Only the numbers will work out, we will form the government, that's all.
Sir, you are so confident.
Numbers will work out and we'll form the government, says DK Shivkumar. Very confident. Now the exit pollsters, the trend also giving Congress the mandate, are not just as a single largest party getting into 3 figures, but more of them now saying they will get absolute majority too. Imran Pasha of the JDS with us, Rajiv Gaudaji of the Congress party with us, former MP also, and Sanju Verma, BJP national spokesperson with us. Prakash Belawadi ji is also back with us. Nisrul Haibar with us in the studio. Nalin Mehta should be joining us too very, very soon. Rajiv Gauda ji, namaskara. You've done some hard yards in Bengaluru urban also, and some new strategies that have been devised. Is that all reaping you dividend in Congress? The trend is that the Congress is forming government.
I think you're very right there. The Congress is going to form a government with a very significant majority. So I actually think that that the numbers that you see today are conservative. What you're going to see, even in places like Bengaluru, where we were neck and neck with the BJP. For example, I led an apartment-focused initiative. We had a tremendous response from a group of voters that either had voted for the BJP before or had not turned out in large numbers. And this time, across the city, this new set of voters, I expect to be coming towards the Congress. That's the kind of effort that we've put in, micro-level outreach and communication. Now, across the state, the opinion poll data was very clear. 57% of the population was angry and wanted a change. Another 24% was angry. So with that level of anger, that level of anti-incumbency, I think you can be very confident that you're going to see the Congress come in with somewhere between 135 and 150 seats, which also provides it the insurance against BJP attempts to reverse a democratic verdict. So I think
would you say, Rajiv ji, if I may ask you this, that the Congress leaders from Karnataka were tasked with different regions and also campaigning in different areas? So Siddaramaiah ji focusing on one region, DK Shivkumar focusing on another region, you, Dinesh Gundurao ji, all of you focusing on certain key pockets, especially these 28 seats of Bengaluru. Did this actually help you? Mallikarjun Kharge ji, Priyank Kharge focusing on certain belts of Karnataka. Did that actually work? Was that a planned strategy?
Yeah, this has been a planned strategy. Initially, all the leaders went together, and then afterwards we focused on different regions. But the leaders that you mentioned have also covered many other parts of Karnataka than just the areas where they are where they concentrated in some ways. And of course, Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi joined them as well. So actually, we've had a very, very good outreach campaign. We've had very good response from the public, across Karnataka. And I think that from whatever I could gather of the pulse of the people, we are very comfortable. We're very confident. And I think
so. Your booth level reports also the same, Sanju Verma ji. This should worry you because the trends are that the Congress is forming government in Karnataka.
See, I think Tejasvi Surya is giving a very twisted view when maybe the booth level workers for him.
May I please?
Well, Sanju ji, let just Rajiv Gauda ji complete, and then you may take it from there, please. Yes.
Yeah. Our reports from the ground, including from our booth workers, are reiterating the fact that the Congress is in a very comfortable position. We are doing way better when you go to certain pockets like Hyderabad, Karnataka, where we are sweeping. Bengaluru, we have done better. Central Karnataka, we're doing better. Mumbai, Karnataka, we're doing better. I think this is nothing, we are going to be very, very comfortable. Let me stop there.
Okay. Anand, I have been watching your channel And I just have one very important take on this entire, exit polls. First and foremost, the general consensus is that, the Congress will have a higher vote share this time, perhaps an additional 4 to 5%. Most pollsters are talking of Congress having a vote share of between 41 to 43% across most regions, be it central, coastal, Mumbai, Karnataka, what have you. Now, my simple logic is this. We will talk about exit pollsters in a bit, but just doing common sensical arithmetic, just using a bit of number crunching. If you see in 2013, the Congress had a vote share of 36.6% and they had 122 seats in their kitty. I'm not talking about the BJP right now because everybody seems to be focusing on the fact that the direction is in favor of the Congress party. So taking that hypothetically as a given, with a 36.6% vote share, the Congress had 122 seats in 2013. Now come 2018, the Congress saw its vote share increase from 36.6 to 38.14%. Basically, the Congress saw a 1.98% increase in its vote share between 2013 and 2018. Yet, the number of seats that it secured came down from 122 to 8080 seats. My limited point is this. The Congress has the ability to increase its vote share. But unfortunately, the Congress does not have the ability to translate that vote share into winnable seats. Okay. And this is precisely what happened in Uttarakhand. I remember I was on your channel and people said, oh, you've changed 3 chief ministers in a span of 12 to 18 months in the run-up to the assembly elections. Aapka to is baar kuch nahi hoga, more so since Uttarakhand also, by and large, never repeats the incumbent government. And what happened there? The vote share difference between the Congress and the BJP was just 6%. BJP had a 44% vote share and the Congress had a 38% vote share. Despite just a 6% difference, look at the yawning gap in terms of number of seats.
Yes.
We won with a massive majority.
Yes, Sanju, I agree with your analysis that BJP certainly has a better conversion in terms of winnable seats. We also have Imran Pasha of the JDS. Imran Pasha, most pollsters are indicating that you could be somewhere between 20 and 25. So even in your bastions, it is not good news.
We have not yet received the final day results. Still, we aim that whatever the survey reports which has been received so far, there is a lot of change in it. Okay, so because different news channels, different mediums are having a different survey report, we cannot come to a conclusion based upon whatever the survey report which is being displayed on the media channel. We have worked very hard in these elections, and from past 1 year, our leader H.D. Kumaraswamy ji has been done the campaigning, and they have a better manifesto than the
Union Minister Bhagwant Khoopa is also joining us. Imran, stay with us. Bhagwant Khoopa ji, आपका क्या assessment है? आप किस pollster को बोलते हैं कि that is closest to the BJP's assessment, your own assessment of the ground situation in Karnataka?
देखिए, पिछला 3 महीने से मैं लगातार कल्याण कर्नाटका और कर्नाटक अन्य भागों में मैंने प्रवास किया है और मैं बहुत जमीन से जुड़ा हुआ हूँ जी। आज मैं सुबह 9 बजे से लेकर के 6 बजे तक बूथ का अपना हर कार्यकर्ताओं से और मेरे नेताओं से बात जब हुई, पिछली बार से भी ज्यादा मतदाता भारतीय जनता पार्टी के प्रतीक मतदान करने के लिए उत्साह था और बूथ स्तर पर अपना कार्यकर्ताओं का मनोबल देखने के बाद मुझे लगता है कि 100% कर्नाटक के अंदर ये एग्जिट पोल के साथ भारतीय जनता पार्टी का स्पष्ट बहुमत का सरकार बनेगी। ये मैं स्पष्ट रूप से मैं दावा करता हूँ।
भगवंत खोबा जी, आप बीदर से हैं। बीदर एक प्रॉब्लम एरिया आइडेंटिफाई किया गया था बीजेपी के लिए। ऐसा क्या बीजेपी ग्राउंड पर कर रही है जो एग्जिट पोल्स में नहीं दिख रहा? क्योंकि कोई भी एग्जिट पोल आपको बहुत बड़ा मेजॉरिटी नहीं दे रहा है। तो आपके हिसाब से कितनी सीटें जीतेंगे? पिछली बार 104 था, आपकी बार आप कहां तक पहुंचेंगे?
नहीं, देखिए बीदर में हम लोग पिछली बार केवल एकमात्र सीट हमने जीता था। इस बार 6 जिले के अंदर 6 सीट पर हम लोग 5 सीट पर हम कड़ा मुकाबला दिया और हमारा अपर हैंड है। क्योंकि पिछली बार का हमारा प्रत्याशी के लेकर के इस बार का प्रत्याशी और माननीय प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी का जो पिछला 9 साल का जो हमारा डबल इंजन सरकार की जो उपलब्धियां है, लाभार्थी है, हर विधानसभा क्षेत्र के अंदर 80% लाभार्थी हमारा डबल इंजन सरकार की है। और इस बार मोदी जी का प्रभाव विशेष करके महिला मतदाताओं के ऊपर बहुत ही अच्छा सकारात्मक हुआ है।
पर ये पोल्स में तो नहीं दिख रहा है भगवान जी, एग्जिट पोल्स में नहीं दिख रहा है। आपको लगता है पोलस्टर्स ये मिस कर गए हैं? क्योंकि नंबर तो सारे कांग्रेस के रुझान में है।
नहीं, देखिए आनंद
जी,
मैं 2014 में इलेक्शन लड़ा और 2019 में इलेक्शन लड़ा
जी।
कोई एग्जिट पोल, कोई टीवी वाला मुझे जीता करके कोई नहीं बोला था। जिस वक्त एग्जिट पोल,
ये बात तो सही है
आनंद जी 1 मिनट।
नहीं, आप सही कह रहे हैं भगवान जी, बहुत सही कह रहे हैं जी।
और मैंने जब एग्जिट पोल देखता हूं तो मैंने कभी हिम्मत खोया नहीं है। लगातार मेरे कार्यकर्ताओं से मेरा संवाद करते रहा। तो मेरा कार्यकर्ता एक ही बात मुझे कहते रहा, एग्जिट पोल पर आप भरोसा करो या न करो आपको थोड़ा सा है, लेकिन हम हमारा बूथ में आपको जिता के दे रहे। और 14 में 1 लाख वोट से जीता हूँ और 19 में 1.25 लाख वोट से जीता हूँ।
उससे बड़ा जीत थी। लेकिन एसटीज का रिजर्वेशन और लिंगायत का कंसोलिडेशन, क्या उस जो आप कल्याण कर्नाटका की बात करें वहां पे दिख रहा है?
आपने जो एग्जिट पोल के हिसाब से जो 37% वोट शेयर भारतीय जनता पार्टी लिया बताया, इस बार हमको एसटी और एससी बहुत ज्यादा प्रमाण में भारतीय जनता पार्टी को मतदान किया है। और लिंगायत को तो लॉइन शेयर है ही है, करीब 80% तक लिंगायत का मतदान भारतीय जनता का प्रतीक हुआ है।
तो मैं आपसे अगर पूछूं भगवान जी कि कल्याण कर्नाटका, किट्टूर, ये कोस्टल बेल्ट और थोड़ा सा अगर हम हैदराबाद कर्नाटका की बात करें तो यहाँ पिछली बार से अच्छा करेंगे आप? पिछली बार इस पूरे ग्रुप में आपको करीब 106 में से करीब 70-72 सीटें मिली थी।
या कल्याण कर्नाटक में हम लोग 14-15 सीटें जीती थी। इस बार हम 23 से 25 तक हम लोग जीतने का संभावना है। और कित्तूर कर्नाटक में हम पिछली बार जो जीता था वो तो रिटर्न करेंगे ही करेंगे। और कोस्टल कर्नाटक में तो आप देखते हैं कि हम लोग वहां पर बहुत अच्छे से प्रदर्शन करते हैं
जी।
लेकिन और पर्टिकुलरली में तो भगवान जी आप लोग मैक्सिमम पहुंच चुके हैं, उससे इम्प्रूव क्या करिएगा?
ना इम्प्रूव के अलावा हम लोग रिटेन करेंगे, ये मैं बात
करेंगे। आप कह रहे हैं आप रिटेन करेंगे जी।
और हम लोग कल्याण कर्नाटक और बेंगलुरु के अंदर इस बार निश्चित रूप से, जब पिछली बार प्रधानमंत्री जी का जो रोड शो था
जी
और जो पोलिंग वोट परसेंटेज बढ़ा है बेंगलुरु के अंदर मेरे ख्याल से, तो इसकी वजह से हम लोग 20 सीट तो हम लोग निकाल पाएंगे बेंगलुरु के अंदर।
अच्छा, मेरा जल्दी से आखिरी सवाल है भगवान जी, ओवरऑल मेगा पोल ऑफ पोल्स का अगर आप एवरेज देखें तो बीजेपी को 92 सीट है। आपका अनुमान कितना है? 13 तारीख को बीजेपी को कितनी सीटें मिलेंगी?
देखिए हम लोग 125 से प्लस हम लोग सीट जीत के हम स्पष्ट बहुमत से सरकार बनाएंगे।
बेसिकली द एक्सेस नंबर्स इन फेवर ऑफ द बीजेपी।
भगवंत गुवा जी बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद, ऑल द बेस्ट।
धन्यवाद।
आपका इंडिविजुअल एग्जांपल लिया जाए तो आप पर भरोसा करना चाहिए, saying that nobody expected him to win and he's won by better votes.
One of the points I think, look, Hyderabad, Karnataka, I think could spring a surprise because Mr. Kharge is from there. There's a large proportion of Dalit population, and I think at least if you go by some of the exit pollsters giving the vote share amongst Dalits, they're giving a significant vote share of Dalits to the Congress party. Generally, it was that SC right votes for the Congress and SC left votes for the BJP. But this time, the kind of vote shares that they're giving for the Dalits, it seems like, at least in Hyderabad, Karnataka, and even in parts of Old Mysore, the Dalit vote seems to be moving to the Congress.
Most of the BJP leaders are indicating that BJP has a better conversion rate.
Of course.
And if you go with
in 2018, which was their election to win, they still didn't get past 104 seats. So this 125 number just really foxes.
See, one of the things in 2018, one thing that stands out, there were a lot of seats where the voter turnout in those areas was lower, especially Bengaluru. The BJP was very disappointed because they were done in by the low voter turnout. That's one aspect. Secondly, there were a few tight fights. Some of these constituencies where they thought they took it a little easy, they lost by very narrow margins.
That all of them did, which even Mr. Kumaraswamy told me that there are lots of seats.
See, I'm not there were 25 seats where the margin was less than 5,000 votes. So, no, I think the conversion argument is right to the extent that you look at even in 2018, where the BJP had 24 seats more than the Congress, they had 2% vote share less. So that cushion the Congress needs to have, more than 2% vote share higher than the BJP. But what's happening in this election is, at least some of the exit pollsters are suggesting, the vote share difference between the BJP and the Congress is anywhere between 4 to 6%.
6%. 6%
So if you have a 6% vote share difference, that is massive.
No, but is this, seat conversion evenly distributed, or are there more conversions?
No. The reason why the BJP converts better is because their voters are concentrated. Their votes are concentrated, whether it's in coastal, whether it's in the central Karnataka part, and of course in Bombay, Karnataka. I think their vote is much more concentrated.
I think Rajiv ji and Imran Pasha are still with us. So Rajiv ji, would you want to weigh in on what Bhagwant Kuba ji had to say? I think your feed is just frozen there, Rajiv ji. We're just going to see if we can get you back. And then I'll bring that question. Imran Pasha, would you want to respond to what Bhagwant Kuba had to say? And especially with the JDS, is it going to move beyond this Hassan, Mysore, Mandya region? Because you are trying to experiment even in Hyderabad, Karnataka.
Yes, you have said very rightly. We have been done an experiment in Hyderabad, the Karnataka region. And as per the ground report, what we have is very first positive report. And from the last election voting percentage, we have been received more the voting percentage, and we are hoping for the better results from there. And coming to the old Mysuru region, as you all are aware that it's kind of our Bhadrakote, where most of the JDS leaders are from that region. Even our ex-Prime Minister H.D. Deve Gowda ji also. And whatever the last result what we had there, we are going to get better than the existing result there. And in Bangalore also, and most of all is wherever we have our farmers in majority, all are with JDS party, because this time in the manifesto what we have given to the Karnataka people, we have kept top priority to the farmers.
Right.
And hope for the better.
But is it actually doing it for the farmers, or is it the emotional card of H.D. Deve Gowda that will work for the JDS?
The JDS has always had a very strong sort of base among Raits, as they call them in the agricultural class, as they call them in Karnataka, the Rayats. So in the Mysore, Mandya especially area, again, every time I ask some people that, why would you want to vote for this party or that, our Raiturigaskara yen madlilla, that they haven't done anything for the Raitu, the others have done, so we will go for this. And another thing that I think both the Congress and the JDS were very good in terms of projecting was on cooking gas, the cylinder, cooking gas, the price of cooking gas was extremely hurt. Yeah, it hurt. And it hurt women. And there are many, at least 50% of seats in Karnataka where women voters outstrip men.
Strong.
So that is also going to be an extremely important
factor. So if the women voters are voting for free cylinders,
yeah,
because that is what the promise has been, and that entire cylinder campaign, Prakash ji, do you think that could be, inflation is an issue, particularly in rural pockets, that may not be discussed enough, but it impacts the home budgets. Prakash ji, that's a question to you.
I can't make a...
I think we... Can you hear me?
I'm sorry, will you repeat the question?
Yes, my question is inflation as an issue, which was made by the Congress party.
Specifically cooking gas.
Yes, specifically cooking gas. The expensive cylinders.
See, let's get this clear. Prices of petrol or diesel, inflation, these are not state issues, these are central issues. if there is anger against the central government and they're actually going to vote against the BJP because of that, I think it's too much of a long shot for me. I can't make sense of it. I continue to stick to the idea that there are no such large issues that encompass Karnataka. There, of course, all these are really annoying things, but I don't think they will actually swing a vote in favor of one party or the other. There are specific zonal, local issues that matter, I think. But if I may just deviate a bit, I want to reflect on two things that I hear.
Ji.
One is what Zakka Jacob was referring to as the Dalit vote, and he said particularly in the Hyderabad region. I don't know the numbers, I don't know the vote percentages there, but I'll tell you this. This idea of internal reservation, what they called, left hand, right hand in the Dalit community, that has been an issue hanging, for the last 30 years with nobody making a decision or biting the bullet and saying something about it. But BJP made this in their before elections,
right,
by striking at another thing. They removed the Muslim quota 4% and then got this,
Yes.
so the 4% quota, and divided between the Lingaites and the other thing they did was that they did this internal reservation for the Dalits, which whether it stayed or not, it actually opens up issues that none of us at the moment are able to completely grasp what could happen at the ground, because this has been talked about and not done. So that is one thing that that is in that corridor of
very
uncertainty.
fair point. Yeah.
The other thing, I'll go back to the
please complete.
And the other thing is the Muslim question. I'll just finish this. The Muslim question is this: the reason we cannot actually connect the vote share to seats correctly at the moment, I think, is because we really don't know how the Muslims are going to behave with JDS, because I think JDS has been quite wishy-washy with them, and there have been many pockets in old Mysore where Muslims have been loyal to Devegowda ji, and if they are feeling let down, as I said earlier, and they decide to vote for the Congress, then Congress may have done something wrong in return by talking about Bajrang Dal, because as Zakka Jacob earlier said, anyway, if there was going to be a Muslim consolidation in favor of the Congress, there was no need for Congress to do a polarization exercise, which kind of negates or makes it worse than before for them.
Right.
So really, although all the exit polls have come with these numbers, I think it's very uncertain. But if a decisive mandate does happen in favor of the Congress, even that outlier figure of 140 is really not off the table, I think.
If it's
that
a
is something
decisive
we'll have
mandate.
to
Dinesh
consider.
Gundu Ji is with
But
us. So let me take this straight across and let him express his and weigh in on this. Yes, Dinesh ji, namaste. This is Anand Narasimhan here. Prakash Belawadi ji had some observations about the Dalit quota, Hyderabad, Karnataka, and also how the Muslim vote would behave in the JDS pockets. Your thoughts? The trends say Congress is forming government.
See, one thing is for sure is that there is no, on the ground, there is no good word for this BJP government, and people are not wanting this government to come back. So they are looking for an alternate, and the only alternate in front of them is the Congress. And we have done a campaign well, we have worked well, we have done a strategy well, and I think this time it's, I'm sure of one thing, that Congress will get a simple and stable majority. Now, to what extent the seats will turn out to be, that I think we will see, depends upon the undercurrent. If the undercurrent against the BJP is strong, then we can go up to even 140, 145. We can't rule that out. But getting a majority is a given. And BJP's tactics of trying to use reservation to get scheduled castes on their side, and trying to get Lingaites and Vokkaligas on their side by cutting reservation for Muslims. These were all last minute
Dinesh ji,
hotspot
just
jobs
hold
they
on to
did
your thoughts. We
just to
have
get their
Karnataka
votes.
Pradesh Congress Committee Chief joining us live. DK Shiv Kumar, he'll be patched in another 30 seconds perhaps. Yes, go ahead, Mr. Gundu Rao, finish your point.
So the BJP were trying to run a campaign based on selling some false dreams to the people. and trying to cover up all their misgovernance and corruption by using emotional issues, the usual Hindutva issues. That has gone against them. The campaign done by the Prime Minister has gone against them because ultimately Modi ji diminished the state BJP leaders. It looked like as if Modi ji had become a state BJP leader, not a national leader.
What is it that the Congress has done right in Karnataka, which they perhaps did not do in some of the other states where they lost out to the BJP? Is there a template that you think is going to work, which you may use in other states in the forthcoming elections? 3 big states are coming through: Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh. So what is it that the Congress has done here effectively?
No, Anand, the minute I mentioned Modi ji, you intervene and cut me off.
No, that was not the intent at all. Please complete, sir. I have nothing like that. Please complete. No, not at all. Please don't make those insinuations. I have limited time because before Mr. D.K. Shivkumar comes, that's why I asked this question. Please complete your point. I have no problems at all. No compunctions. Please don't attach any motive there. Please.
Yeah, see, the point was.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, the point I was trying to make was Modi ji's campaign also has helped the Congress. Because Amit Shah said that we'll hand over the state to Modi. You know, this is Karnataka. We can rule our own state. Why should we hand it over to Modi ji? Right. And he demeaned and diminished the state leaders. So that also helped us.
Okay.
And we have run a better campaign. We've run a more scientific campaign. We have used professionals, you know, to understand what is happening on the ground. We had agencies which were working for us. And for the last 2 years, we've been working. And we worked with a lot of unity. And I think that was good. Our selection of candidates were much ahead of all political parties. And we were more effective in our guarantee schemes. We were able to send it to each and every house, door to door, and convince people that this is what we're going to be doing when we form the government. And of course, the corruption of BJP was synonymous.
Was it a conscious decision to
BJP
try and focus?
And corruption became synonymous in Karnataka.
Was it also a conscious decision to focus strong leaders, people like you who've been Pradesh Congress Committee Chief in the past, people like D.K. Shivkumar who's going to be joining us, Siddaramaiah ji, Priyank Kharge, Mallikarjun Kharge, other tall leaders of the Congress party from Karnataka? Were you given, Rajiv Gowda ji, all of you, were you given specific responsibilities? Did you take on different pockets of Karnataka and start focusing on them? Was that something different from the last time?
Yeah, no, everybody was given. See, I think our campaign was run more professionally. We were more strategic, more planned. We focused on the real issues. We focused on issues of the people, about inflation, about corruption, about unemployment, and how Karnataka has suffered because of the central government's, stepmotherly treatment for Karnataka. In fact, Karnataka's finances is in a very shaky ground because of the way central government has, the devolution of funds to Karnataka has gone down drastically.
How important will be the caste dynamics?
The Finance Commission report.
How important will be the caste dynamics? Will the coming in of Lakshman Saudi, Jagdish Shettar, will that transfer Lingayat votes? The Vokaliga vote fight with the JDS, how will the Congress party do? Because that's about 51 seats there, very critical. If you got to get to that 130, 140 number, you need to pull bulk of the Vokaliga votes and the seats.
See, the Lingayat vote has been also become very shaky, which was more for the BJP. It's become very shaky because one was Yediyurappa was removed. Secondly, they didn't give tickets to Jagdish Shettar and Mr. Saudi. That also because they were two tall leaders. And then they tried to give Lingayat's reservation on a false premise, by removing Muslims' reservation and giving them Lingayat reservation for Lingayats, which ultimately the Supreme Court has stayed. So the Lingayats today, I feel, not only Lingayats, whether it's Lingayats, Vokaligas, Brahmins, all these communities, in that there is a big section which will be voting for the Congress because they see that the BJP has not delivered, BJP's governance has been bad. So that shift of vote is taking place in this election towards the Congress.
Dinesh, Zaka here. Just a quick question on... All right, I believe we have... Thank you very much, Dinesh Gundurao, for joining us. We have with us the KPCC President, Mr. D.K. Shivkumar, joining us. Mr. Shivkumar, most exit polls seem to suggest that the Congress will either cross the halfway mark or be very close to it. Are you satisfied with whatever you've heard from your party workers, booth workers, that the Congress is in a position, if not to emerge as the single largest party, at least to get outright majority?
I don't go by even your surveys. They might have shown that in every surveys Congress will be leading. It is not, Congress will not lead. It will have an absolute majority. That is the numbers. Without any support, we will form a government and we stand by it.
What basis are you saying this? What gives you confidence?
See, I am a ground man. I know my political arithmetics. I know the social engineering, what we have done. I know what the problem the state has faced. I know how the old Mysore has been improved, how the Kittur Karnataka has been improved. So there are big numbers in it. So I think that will make a very big change, and I think we will have 60 seats extra than what seats we had.
You have
we
made
will touch 141 seats, 100 plus.
Okay.
You have made an interesting point about social engineering, DK Shivkumarji. Tell us about the social engineering that the Congress did, and when did this entire strategy begin?
See, you saw the number of seats we have given to Lingais, the number of seats we picked up in the OBC section, and what we gave to the left and right. That's all makes a lot of change in it. And we have taken the section which were not with us, we have somehow tried to convince them, and they also convinced that BJP could not give them a government which they wanted. So including all Matadipatis thought that this government took commission even from them. All PWD contractors, all government officials. These are the part of social life. And every section of the society felt that they have been cheated and every pickpocketed. They said that they are going to double the income of every common man, including the farmer. Where the farmer got? Farmer is suffering, everyone is suffering. At the time of COVID, Prime Minister asked to do bhajan, asked to do lit the lamp, all these things. But ultimately nothing happened, no.
Old
Scams
Mysuru
after
region?
scams, corruption after corruption.
Sir, old Mysuru region, was it a fight between you and the JDS? What made you, what is giving you confidence in that area?
The old Mysore area will have 25 seats, I am telling you. 25 seats in the old Mysore region. That number will add more to us.
DK Shivkumarji, Namaskara. This is Anand Narasimhan here.
Mysore,
one of the key aspects,
Yes.
sir, I know you have very strong political ambitions and you've been waiting in the wings for a while. But one of the aspects is how much of the votes can you bring in, especially from the Vocaliga votes? 51 seats. Are you confident that you'll be able to bring in a bulk and also stake very strong claims, sir?
More than 25 seats Congress party will win in this old Mysore area. This is my number.
Which is the area where the Congress will make the biggest gains? To go from 80 seats to about 120 seats, it's a big jump. Where do you see the maximum gains? Where are you going to hurt the BJP the most?
No. I am telling you my number will be 141.
Where is the number coming from?
More than 10 seats we are adding in Kalyan, Karnataka. 15 seats we are adding in Mumbai, Karnataka, Kittur, Karnataka. Rest in the old Mysore and the central Karnataka.
Mr. Shivkumar, I think the $1 million question.
Especially in the
$1 million question.
We had only 3 seats. We will have more than 10 seats there.
Okay, the $1 million question everyone wants to ask you is, if the Congress party is in a position to form government, who is going to be Chief Minister?
Why you are worried about the Chief Minister?
Are you not worried about the Chief Minister?
Why you worry about the Chief Minister? I am not worried about the Chief Minister. I am not worried about it.
Sir, if you are saying that the numbers in old Mysuru will be coming as a huge surprise, then you will have a better claim at the Chief Minister's chair. That would be because of you. You will take the credit for it, I am sure.
That already now credit goes to every worker of the state. It is not me. I am not an individual. Anyone, I am not an individual. It is every worker, every leader of my party has done. I may be the team leader, that's all. The credit go to every congressman of this state.
But as PCC chief, won't you want that you should get your due, sir? You think you will get your due if Congress wins heavily and handsomely?
We will discuss. We will discuss my due on May 15th.
Okay, sir.
Sir, before I let you go, DK Shivkumarji, before I let you go, as KPCC chief, you started campaigning 2 years in advance. You are almost seen as a leader who established the party in several pockets where the Congress was weak. Would you say that if the Congress holds these numbers hold, then that was because of the efforts you began 2 years ago and the strategy that was put in place?
Not 2 years. It is 3 years. 3 years. I am telling you. 3 years. Even at the time of COVID, I just threw 1 crore check to this government, telling that they are the nation builders. All this who have come from North India, South India, who are traveling, they did not give. All those people had come for work here. They were taking double, triple, no train. So I just decided they are not the Karbikas, they are not the people, migrants, they are the nation builders. From that day, at the time of COVID, even the central government had to yield, state government had to yield. My movement and my rebellion attitude started from that day. So that is the voice of the people. We have won the awards of the people. That is what I would like to tell.
Will you get your due, sir?
Pardon?
Will you get your due?
See, I believe always loyalty will pay. I am telling you, I always believe that loyalty will pay royalty. That's all. With one sentence, I am telling.
Well, wish you all the best. And DK Shivkumarji, I hope you join us. You join us on the 13th of May. On the 13th of May, we'd like to hear from you again.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, DK Shivkumarji. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we get a comment from on what Mr. DK Shivkumar said, that loyalty will be royalty, let's just quickly take a look at the numbers as they are aggregating, consolidating where it all stands. Let's quickly look at the multi-poll numbers, and this is where it stands. As of now, even though there are pollsters who are giving absolute majority to the BJP or absolute majority to the Congress party, overall, the numbers stack up in a position where it looks like a hung house. And the kingmaker will be again the JDS, far less number of seats than the last time around, 14 seats lesser, but still in pole position to decide whether the BJP or the Congress forms government in Karnataka. So is this going to be one more dance around the resorts? Again, money bags coming through, horse trading happening in absolute chaos? Or is one of the pollsters going to get it right in terms of their projection that the mandate goes decisively to one party, the BJP or the Congress? That's where we have to see. It's as muddled as Karnataka elections as always as far as the exit pollsters. The real outlier is from Axis. The real outlier is in Axis, which says 140 seats, 122 to 140 seats to the Congress. That means an overwhelming mandate to the Congress party. Do we see that kind of a wave on ground, an anti-incumbency against the BJP and a pro-Congress wave which you would see? Is that really there on ground? Well, a lot of people would say perhaps not. So then how is this number coming through is a question. Let's go take that forward. Nistula Hebbar, would you want to lean on that outlier, or would you say muddled is better?
Was there an undercurrent that was perhaps not read?
Well, I really don't know, because I was there about a week before polling happened. But this general trend of Congress being ahead was something that I had also seen. Obviously, there was an incumbent government which was unpopular, very openly unpopular. There were issues against that government. Also, there was infighting in the BJP. They were not as well organized as they had been in the past, certainly not as well organized as 2018. So certainly the direction is something that I don't argue with. Now, coming back to what Mr. DK Shivkumar said, which is more interesting for me, I think his statement was actually aimed at his party bosses in Delhi, which is that, as we were discussing earlier, there were these two wave elections for the Congress, which was 1991 with Virendra Patil, who was a Lingayat, and with whom, and the removal of whom, started this entire hurt feelings between the community and the Congress party, and the 1999 election where SMK, SM Krishna became Chief Minister. He is a very strong Vokkaliga leader. Even when Mr. Siddaramaiah was, he declared himself the Chief Ministerial candidate in 2013, and I had covered that election as well. That was one of the very few elections which I saw the legislature party had a secret ballot after the elections was done to elect the chief minister from amongst themselves. It was very, very rare in the Congress, which just basically the legislature party meets and says we authorize Sonia Gandhi to select, or party president to select, whatever. But that election also he got about 123 seats. If this Axis poll is correct, then I believe that Mr. Shiv Kumar may be in with a chance to say that, look, as a Vocal leader, I still have a better
buzz in Bangalore, I heard this from one Congress leader, is that Siddaramaiah, they believe is popular across the state.
Yes.
It could be him as chief minister, one Vocal deputy chief minister and one Lingayat deputy chief minister. This is what I heard. But I believe Jagdish Shettar, former chief minister, tall Lingayat leader, formerly with the BJP, now with the Congress, is now joining us. Mr. Shettar, most exit polls seemingly indicating the direction that the Congress party will win or will be close to winning. The BJP will be in number 2 position. Do you feel vindicated by these exit polls that your decision, because your party did not give you the ticket, you decided to jump just before the election, has been vindicated by these numbers?
I told I have not jumped because of disrespect, ill treatment by the BJP. I quit the party, not jumped. Please understand.
Okay.
And please, when I quit the party and joined the Congress party, I told that in the Karnataka, according to my experience, Congress is getting and gaining people's faith, and BJP, because of mishandling of the election process, they are losing. And according to my last 3-4 days, I have given statement that Congress is going to get with clear majority and form the government with clear majority.
Do you believe that this is on the back of the Lingayat vote, which was always traditionally with the BJP, the Lingayat vote splitting this time? Do you believe that's why the Congress is getting this edge?
That is also one of the factors. So many factors are there. Price rise and inflation and corruption. So many issues are there. Unemployment issue is there.